townhall.com. A private lunar mission now underway.
A SpaceX rocket blasting off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center Wednesday night, carrying, among other spacecraft, a lunar lander from the private company Intuitive Machines.
You can see IM-2 Nova C lunar lander named Athena floating away from Falcon 9's second stage.
The 15-foot Athena is aiming to land close to the moon's south pole, and then send a drone that will hop into a nearby crater that never sees the sun in a hunt for frozen water. I'm Ben Thomas.
A woman charged in a vandalism spree targeting a Colorado Tesla dealership. Police say it included Molotov cocktails tossed at vehicles, the words Nazi cars spray painted on the building, and a message apparently directed at Tesla founder Elon Musk. He's been the target of threats since aligning himself with President Trump. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy almost Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
It's
a little cooler
this morning, yeah.
Breezier.
I noticed as I was, that's what it is the breeze. I noticed as I was walking out the door, I'm like, this is just nice.
Yeah.
But the breeze is cold.
Yeah, it's a good long sleeve tee.
Yeah, I should have gone long sleeve tee now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you went tee today.
I just went tee.
Yeah. But,
I didn't bring in the hoodie.
Yeah, you don't even have your
No.
Packer hoodie, man.
You're
in summer mode.
Cautious optimism. I'm not quite in summer mode. I'm in long pants, but
See, all week I've still been wearing my coat,
Mhm.
and all week by lunch I'm like, But the thing is, like I utilize the pockets.
Uh-huh.
All my stuff's in there.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
get
like, oh man, I gotta get my key. Now I get worried because I'm like, I'll just go run real quick, but I keep my keys in my coat. Is the coat?
Mhm. You start going through, and then there's that thing where it's like, well, now I don't want to wear the coat, but I have to transport the coat. So it's one of two things. You can do the old school tie around the waist, but that's a fashion faux pas or whatever. But great for covering up accidents. And I will say, the other option is folded over the arm. And I always feel weird when I'm walking around with my arm like this.
Yeah.
With a folded hoodie. It's like it's not a sport coat.
Well, I've watched enough gangster movies to think there's a Tommy gun or something under there.
Right. You know? Drops box of roses.
Right, yeah. You see that, I'm like, some dude's about to. But I have, that's what I've done this week is the ladder and throw it over because I'm going from here to the Jeep and then it gets thrown on the front seat. So I was like, I'm not going to dress like like I'm a preppy and go to town on that thing.
For two gentlemen who spend most of our time in climate-controlled environments, we really do complain about the weather a lot.
We do. Well, in all fairness, this building is climate-controlled based on the climate outside.
Yeah, and 3 times out of 5, they're not necessarily right.
In sync, yeah. So, tomato.
Uh-huh.
But, so, the Gene Hackman thing.
Yeah.
This is a bit... All right,
That's
this is
crazy.
I had a moment with this thing, and this is the part that's kind of messing with my head this morning.
Okay.
So last night, literally, before I was going to bed, I'm, on Twitter or X scrolling, doing the thing. And I happened to see one of the people I follow, listen to, he's a podcaster, he used to be a radio show host, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, on one of his posts, he put a box up of a picture of this big wooden ship model thing that he's going to be building. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people still do that, folks. And he said, "Hey, I got a movie fest planned while I'm building this sucker. I've got Master and Commander, Master and Commander and Hunt for Red October and some other movie. Any suggestions?" And normally I don't answer these things. But I don't know. I had a wild hair, felt like frolicking. I don't know. So I went and got a GIF of Gene Hackman from Crimson Tide, and I shared it up there and just put that up there.
I thought you were just going to suggest the French Connection.
No. But I was figuring, Crimson Tide, submarine, he's got a whole Navy theme thing.
Sure,
I'll throw that up, not thinking nothing.
Wow.
Went to bed, literally got up this morning, and I don't know about y'all, but usually I go right to the bathroom, and usually phone's in hand. That's like automatic pilot mode when I grab my phone off the nightstand and I go to the bathroom for my morning, go to the bathroom.
It's just as an aside, there's a Family Guy joke where it's like, go ahead and run your finger and sign right on this device I take with me into the bathroom.
Right. So I did, and first thing I do when I open up, Gene Hackman passed away in Santa Fe with his wife and
his
I'm
wife
like,
and a dog, and that's what blows my mind.
Well, and I'm going to take a stab. It was a carbon monoxide poisoning
that's
thing.
the first place my mind went was carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
But
by the way, he lived in Santa Fe. For folks that didn't know that, he died there in Santa Fe. Well, and I went and read a article later that had a little bit more information, and basically from putting the pieces together, I guess yesterday, neighbors requested a welfare check on the home. I guess they had heard from him in a while and things like that. They welfare checked and found the dog, his wife, and Gene passed away in the home. So
why the dog too?
But I think I'm going to guess it's a carbon monoxide poisoning deal or something like that.
Because nothing.
They said no foul play is involved, or anticipated, or whatever.
Which.
So I'm thinking it's just a sad
some
tragedy.
kind of poison.
Is this? I don't know if this is bad to say, but I thought he was already dead.
Gene Hackman?
Well, he's
95.
I was saying he hasn't done a thing in a minute.
That's understandable.
It's probably been 10 years since he's done. I think he made a couple public appearances.
I could have sworn.
No, he's matter of fact, I feel like I just saw him on something like in the last year. Mm-hmm. Like he was on an award show or interview or something. I don't know,
but what's crazy is, and there was a sort of a double shot yesterday with Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah,
also getting announced, and she was 39.
And I didn't know who she was when you mentioned.
Which is so funny. I shouldn't say funny, but when I out loud said Michelle Trachtenberg died, Mike goes, "Who's that?"
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. Once I saw her, and I was like, "Oh, that's the girl from Euro Trip," because that's where I connect with. I didn't watch.
I choose to remember a more wholesome.
I was going to say, you never saw Ice Princess?
I was a little old to be watching Harriet the Spy.
Harriet the Spy
those were not my wheelhouse of shows.
That was transformative for me. That was right in the wheelhouse of when I was really paying attention.
Matter of fact, I was of an age where it would be creepy for someone like me to watch said show.
She's part of the reason I was so into redheads was because of Michelle Trachtenberg. But I digress.
Well, as soon as I saw pictures, like, oh, that's the girl from Eurotrip.
Right. She was 39 years old, and they said she'd recently had a liver transplant.
Yeah.
And it was complications from that. But they said it was natural causes. So I guess.
Well, the rumors that I saw floating around is they think that the liver got rejected. Is what at least people were
maybe
in the TMZ world and all that were talking about that I saw.
That's terrifying though.
Yeah. Well,
but
it happens.
Yeah,
part of the risk.
And, you hate to speculate and wonder and but the thought goes through your head. You know what? Why? What happened? Was it a natural thing? Like, for example, the girl
just had a bad
if you've
liver.
ever seen the movie or the show Modern Family, the girl that plays Haley, she has a pretty serious kidney disorder. She actually had to have a double kidney transplant during the filming of the show, like during the series as it was being filmed. So she's been on like dialysis and stuff.
I feel like every generation has an actress that has this
this thing.
Like, I'm going to take a kind of a stab. one that would be a little closer to me would be Meadow Soprano.
Really?
She has MS.
Oh.
Like she does commercials for MS now.
Okay.
But I can't remember the actress's name.
She has a magic stick?
No. She has military special. No,
I had to change that from what it was. You got a monkey.
She's got a missile silo.
A missile silo? Wow. I mean, it's handy to have.
But yeah, so I feel like it's so, you know what I mean? Like there's Brittany Murphy. Of course, hers was probably more drug induced.
I don't think so.
There was some weird, but there was some weirdness with a husband going on.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
was a lot of.
She had a lot of medical issues,
Like
even
her
like
mom
when she was doing.
and her husband, and her mom and her husband. There was something shady going on there with Brittany Murphy. Yes.
See, I never dove too
There's
deep
a whole
into that.
documentary on. She married this dude that's like closer to her mom's age.
Oh.
And he was very father of the bride. Like he was very like of both the mom and her, and very controlling. And they lived in and he was like a fake millionaire or something. There's a whole. There's a dark side to her story.
Sometimes
Yeah.
There's a part of me that doesn't necessarily want to tarnish what I believe.
Yeah.
Like, I want to believe, man. I want to believe that what happened was just a natural thing. And
to her, it's a sad story.
Gone too soon.
To her, it's a sad story. I think people took advantage of her and
absolutely.
did things to her that she was the victim on this one. But yeah. There's a documentary I remember seeing a while back. I don't remember what it was.
I'll have to look that one up because I always thought it was just like a medical thing or a natural thing.
Well,
I really never thought much of it.
Yeah, but they say that they're the ones that induced it. Like they were. It's a thing. I'm not even sure if he went to jail for it. I mean, or
really?
It's that level.
Yeah, I'm going to dig a little bit.
Yeah, it's that level of messed up. So, put it this way, it's worthy of a Netflix-esque, murder mystery style documentary.
That's fair.
By the way, I watched the Gabby Patino one.
Yeah, I started the first part of it or whatever. I didn't get to finish it yet.
That's another just messed up story at the end of the day. It's and definitely his parents helped him escape.
And I haven't gotten to that point yet, but remembering the story, they most certainly did because he was on the run and they were his point of contact.
Police interviews and stuff in there from the
and
police
they funneled him
cams.
cash and stuff too, right? I mean, I haven't been there yet.
Well, he was housed there, and then the car was there, and it was a whole thing.
It's several episodes, right? It's not just
it's like 4 or 5.
Okay, because I think I got to like halfway through part 1, and then I quit because wrestling was on or something. I can't remember, but I got a first chunk of it in.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's sad, but it's interesting. So, speaking of sad and interesting, let's get the show going. Just kidding.
Yeah, that tracks.
Right. About right. Let me give you the rundown here. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Don Well joined us from the Friends of the Zoo, and they're needing volunteers. They're trying to get the friends back together, get the band back together, so to speak. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Lori Dudek and Amy McVeigh-Teas from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association join us. Talk about Teen Leadership Institute, which is happening in April, but deadlines to register coming up here in March, just a couple weeks away. So we'll talk about that. If you have no idea what that is, well, listen.
You're going to learn.
We'll learn you. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview last Friday. Freddie Sosa from Richland Motors joined us, talking about some of the things they've got going on now at Richland. So we'll play that for you in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all the newses of the local, national variety. Don't forget, we will have Roswell High basketball on video for you tonight. Their playoff matchup against Carlsbad. KSVPTV.com. Click on the Roswell Coyote channel. And then if they do win, we'll have their matchup Saturday for the district championship there.
That's right, Maggie.
We got it all for you. Basketball. And, of course, any of the teams that after this weekend make it onto state, we will be carrying. So we may have some actually, because I think the first round they'll do a home and then they go tournament style. So if probably here in maybe next weekend we may have some basketball on the radio, maybe video, depending on who goes where and writes. But the week after that, if then he goes to the tournament, we'll probably have some games on the radio for you. Of course, if Roswell or Goddard, any of their teams, make it onto the state tournament there. So, but we got a few weeks away on that one, but that may be coming. We may have a few morning shows that get delayed or ended early because of some basketball. But we'll cross that bridge. We got to get through a few more games of basketball before we talk about that stuff first, though. So, but anyway, it may be coming. 7:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but sunshine this afternoon. We have a quick cold front moving through. Low to mid 60s on today's high. Clear for the overnight hours, low 30s, and then we get sunshine on Friday, warming up a little bit. We're back to about 70 on the high. We're in the mid 70s on Saturday. It looks good. Sunshine, our warming trend continues on Sunday. It'll be sunny with upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 39%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. 60s, 63 for our high today under mostly sunny skies. They say winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Even though, that's about right now. It felt a little breezier earlier. But could have been just me. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 32. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, we're back up into the low 70s, sunny and 72. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we're looking at mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 35 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then weekend looking pretty pleasant for the most part. Sunny and 74 for Saturday. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Saturday night, overnight low of 42. Sunny and warm on Sunday, 77 for a high, but they used the word breezy, so might be some winds to go with that warmth. And then Monday when you head back to work and everything else, sunny and breezy, highs near 80, 79 on Monday. And let's see, how far into next week they give me. Yeah, Tuesday, 66 and windy, 70 on Wednesday. So maybe. We are officially moving into more spring-like temperatures. Maybe we're done with maybe. I don't want to be too, we are still technically in February, but March is days away. Maybe, just maybe, we're done with winter time. For the day. Overnight's going to get cold. I think I might jinxed it, but we'll see. All right, 7:21, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Don Weld from the Friends of the Zoo on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When the temple was completed, King Solomon dedicated the temple in prayer to God. In this prayer, his God-given wisdom shined through. He started by stating the supremacy of God, praising his love for the people and for keeping his promises. He also made requests, but they were requests centered in the will of God, not his own personal will. Solomon understood that God was too big for the temple, but he still asked for him to always keep his eyes on his people and hear their prayers. Solomon also knows that even with all the blessings that God has bestowed on his people, the people will sin. Solomon prays that when the people turn back to God, that he forgives them, and that they again enjoy the blessings that come with God's favor. He also asks that God hear the prayer of the foreigner, so that all may know God and understand his ways. What a great pattern of prayer for all of us to learn. To do these things: praise God, know he's supreme, ask him to be with us, ask for forgiveness, and ask that others know God as well.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Luggage Tax.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Trade up and cash in during the Keys for Cash event at Roswell Honda. Up to $4,000 more for your trade. Roswell Honda wants your trade in, and that means trade values are at an all-time high. With zero down, no payments for 90 days, and low 1.9% APR options available, there's never been a better time to trade up and save big. Don't wait. Be a part of the biggest sale in the history of Roswell Honda. Trade up and cash in during Keys for Cash on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Don Weld back with us this morning, this hour, talking Friends of the Spring River Zoo. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Mike. Yeah, we're going to see what the zoo is doing or not doing.
Yeah, obviously, since the flooding, much of Roswell has been dealing with a lot of stuff. The zoo, also the case there. There's a lot of damage and things, and they've been working and mitigating that stuff. And so zoo's kind of been a little bit in a Band-Aid repair state for the last 6 months or so here.
So yeah, actually longer than that.
Yeah. The flood kind of,
especially since the flood.
Yes, exactly. It was needing some upgrades and things. The flood just kind of made,
Shall we call this the Great Flood?
There we go. It is for now. I don't know if it was that great, but
No, it was not great for a lot of people.
Great isn't massively huge, but this is so kind of the Friends really are kind of getting revitalized, re-put back together. We're looking for more volunteers, more folks to get involved.
Memberships.
And really the Friends of the Zoo, they're the volunteer organization that supports the zoo. So that the staff, the city hires, and everybody that runs the day-to-day operations of the zoo, the Friends support them.
That's right.
And how they do so by various ways. Sometimes it's sweat equity. They're out there working, doing service projects, things like that. Sometimes it's fundraising side, where you have, like, if you remember Brews at the Zoos and various fundraising events over the years, that money goes back into projects and things at the zoo, whether it's directly for the animal safety and upkeep, or more for the beautification of the park or something like that.
Right.
All of that. And then also, a lot of the fun programs too, they'll work and volunteer, like when they have city events, for kids and families to come out and participate. The Friends are usually there working as staff and helping out and volunteering at events like that too. So
right.
That's kind of what the Friends do.
And we do have a summer program for the kids coming up. I don't have those details with me. I should.
We'll get them
summer
back.
Camp, yeah. But that's coming up. We will get more details on that.
Okay, we'll have, and of course,
cost, etc. We'll see it next month.
Excellent. Yeah, well, We'll bring you back for that one. I don't think too many families are worrying about summer camp in February.
No, not right now. No.
Give them a month or two.
Yeah, and the camp isn't until towards the end of May, first part of June is what we're looking at. We're actually thinking of right now. Don't quote me. This is a good possibility of the camp going down to the Living Desert in Carlsbad.
Oh, okay.
Taking a group of kids down there.
Nice
for
field
the day.
trip down there. That's another great facility.
Yeah, it is.
Which, by the way, they do work in concert with the zoo because they also do veterinary animal services, and they have the docs and the vets that can handle things like elk and big they do more than dogs and cats and stuff like that. They do wild animals. They do hawks and eagles and things like that.
Yeah, if you have especially injured birds, you can take I'm thinking you still do that. You can take them to the zoo, and they will transport them down to the Living Desert area where they will do what they need medically and then rehab it.
And they do it for the whole state, not just here in Roswell and everything, but they get animals from all over New Mexico that go down there to get rehabbed. And a lot of times what happens is, like for the zoo's instance, they go back to the zoo. If the animal is fully treatable, they go back to the wild.
Right.
If they aren't going to be able to handle themselves in the wild, then they basically become a resident of the living desert
zoo
there.
or the Living Desert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
and some become educational animals. Some just kind of live Club Med style out at the ranch, so to speak.
There you go. So we try to do what we can.
But that'll be neat. I think that'll be a nice little addition to this year's summer activities and things.
Yeah, it would. I think it'd be a little different.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and reach out, and we're working on that right now, trying to get that to go. So we'll get there.
And as far as the meetings and everything, how often do the friends meet? What because we want to. I want to give people kind of an obligation of if folks want to become a part of the board or become just a volunteer in some way, shape, or form. What kind of time obligation?
We meet about once a month. Usually, it is the third Monday. You know what? I bet I've got that written down.
Everything's in a calendar, right?
Nothing like having a calendar that you're not using.
That's my problem. Is I'm.
Where is that?
I don't embrace technology.
Usually we meet on a Monday, and I don't.
Where do you guys normally meet at?
Wherever.
Somebody's
we usually
out.
have like a lunch meeting.
Okay.
So we will go. Our last one was at Pasta Cafe.
Okay.
We've been to Peppers. Various
do
places.
The rounds.
Yeah, wherever we can find enough of a large seat.
A big place. You can seat a few people. Yeah.
We need to seat at least 6.
All right.
The council or the
let's see if we can get you
right now.
Let's see if we can get an 8-top or a 10-top for the next meeting.
Yeah, we would love to. And you know what? I do not have that written down, but it is usually.
Well, we can if you really.
Usually it's on a Monday.
Okay.
And we meet. Why didn't I write that down? Oh boy, I am really behind.
And there is we can look it up, but there's a Facebook for Friends of Zoo.
We'll put it on.
You can
the
shoot
Facebook.
a message there if you have more questions about that kind of stuff. But
so that would be our and pretty much that's the board meeting, but it's open. If you want to come join us, wonderful.
Yeah.
And we're looking also to put together a members meeting. For everybody.
Gotcha.
Because we need to.
Well, that's really a financial way to support is becoming a friend. Membership as a friend, that money goes into the projects at the zoo and all that kind of stuff too.
Right.
So even if you don't want to serve on the board per se, if you want to be a friend, that's a great way to help out.
March 22nd, Saturday.
Okay.
2:00 in the afternoon. Because the zoo is open that day, we're going to gather out on the park area.
Oh, yeah.
They're inside the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just kind of walk through the zoo and have a little meeting and say hi. And
do the rounds.
Do the rounds. And
March. Hopefully it's not.
March 22nd.
Hopefully it's a nice spring day.
So
hopefully
you know how March can be.
Yeah,
right
hopefully
here.
the winds aren't too bad.
Yeah. So I knew I had some.
Sunny 75. That's what I'm shooting for on March 22nd.
There you go.
Winds 5 to 10.
There you go. Yeah. That's mild. That's nothing here. Yeah. We get 15 and 20, and then you start thinking, it's a little breezy out.
Yeah. but that's what we're shooting for. That's the order we'll put in for the 22nd.
Right. There you go.
But yes, becoming a member, getting involved, and then what I'm going to take a stab at the big goal right now is probably fundraising and that type of thing.
Members and fundraising.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to get done out there.
We need to start building a membership because it has pretty much gone away except for the board members. So we're going to build a membership, start getting fundraising, and see what we can do about assisting the zoo. We put a huge amount in that lion pen and fixing that up. We did a lot with the elk enclosure. We would like to get started on and get that bear enclosure going. We had a master plan that has kind of been set aside and is off out of nowhere right now. So we need to rejuvenate that master plan, see what we can do and what we can work towards while this recovery from the flood.
Sure, and I don't know. I haven't seen budgets, and I don't know all the numbers and everything. But I'm going to take a stab too that, because of the flooding, because of things, I'm going to say city resources shifted a little bit. And I'm going to say at the end of the day, because the zoo is the zoo, it probably took a hit on some of that stuff because there's bigger priorities that need to be taken.
For right now, we're looking, and I can't blame them for that. The city's probably looking more for human recovery.
And the zoo's important and everything, but at the end of the day, it's not sewage, it's not fire, it's not police, it's not the essential.
Basic human needs.
Exactly.
So they're just kind of getting by on the zoo right now. So we would like to get back to where we can actually do some things for the zoo, get them up and running, get the things back where they should be.
And that's kind of where my point is here. It's for folks that are really, really wanting to see the zoo thrive.
Yep.
It's going to take the public to get
let us know.
Help up.
Let's get this thing going. And
the city can only go to a point.
That's right.
Then we, the public, are going to have to come in there and roll up our sleeves and manage our own backyard a little bit there.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and we'll get it. We'll get it done. It's just going to take a while.
But it takes people.
Well,
that's the big thing is it takes volunteers, it takes folks to get involved, it takes membership, it does take money.
That's right.
People in bucks, that's what moves the world.
That's right.
and they need both of them.
Right now, everybody in this area needs money. Because of that flood, it wiped out a lot of amenities that we've had. I don't know what they're going to do about the convention center or some of the museums and stuff like that.
They're working those angles. Yeah,
it's got to be done.
Well, and like we were talking with the museum folks just yesterday on the show or the day before, and they're kind of in this space too where they're trying to decide what to do next. There's going to be a museum. Is it going to be there where it's been for years? Is it going to be a new location? We don't know yet. And that's the part they're figuring out. And I'm thinking there's a lot of that with the zoo. It's like, what does this zoo look like? I don't know yet. We're trying to figure that out. What can we make it look like? What's feasible? What's not feasible? And that's where we're assessing and all that.
That's right.
G was curious. I've heard a little bit of as far as some of the more, and this has nothing to do with the animals, like the merry-go-round and the train.
Yes.
Are those?
The train itself is viable. That's fine.
Okay.
It was in an enclosure, didn't get too damaged.
The track got
the problem is the track.
That got tore up.
It wiped out. And the idea would be the original track was good enough for the time, but
need to be upgraded.
It's difficult to get that particular type of material track again.
Okay.
So what we're going to have to do is look around and see what kind of replacement we can get that fits the train.
Gotcha.
You know, there's a gauging on these on these wheels and such.
Might get the model railroaders to help out here on this
There
one.
you go. I'll bet they could find the equipment we need too.
You might want to hit them up.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
There you go.
I know the president.
That's a start. That and the Ferris wheel was not damaged.
Oh, good.
Because
Okay.
it was in the enclosure.
It was. I didn't know if
it
the
was
water rose
protected.
up to that, and that's a little
Right.
bit higher ground if I
It
remember
is.
right.
Yeah, it's a little, not a lot,
but a
because
little higher.
As that water,
There's a
comes-
lot lower ground around it. Put it
Yes.
that way.
Yeah, and that I guess helped.
Yeah.
The water came over the edges and got into that area,
But
not
not to the-
into where the
And to be honest, the fact that it's ancient technology might be a blessing and not a curse in this one.
That's right.
Whereas something more modern that's got LEDs and electronics and all kinds of stuff, that thing
They
gets a
get
lot of
blown up.
gears and cranks and a lot of oil and lube, and now they got to worry about rusting and all that. But as far as frying electronics and stuff, I don't think there's a whole lot of that going on
There's
there.
not a whole lot in there.
It's a
that
lot
can
of brawn
be
and muscle
damaged
and
that way.
mechanics. Yeah,
that's right.
So, that
yeah,
might be a blessing in the disguise of this particular situation. Yeah. So
we'd like to open all of that up and get things back. I know the zoo is open.
Yeah.
You can go visit.
Sure.
I don't even know the hours. I think it's almost daily now.
Yeah.
Like 10 to 4 or something like that.
and the park's beautiful out there and see
Yep.
the animals. But yes, it's we got the flood is taking its impact, and we're
It
trying
has.
to get that pond and a lot of some of the just scenery and the paths and things like that. They got all damaged and destroyed
Yep.
out there. So it's not at its prettiest, but is that peacock still around?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that greeter slash menace.
There's more than one male out there.
Yeah.
Which can be a good and bad. They like to have their territories.
There was a one male, and it was the males are the pretty ones. That's the
right.
peacock.
You're the ones that do all the
Yeah.
fanning.
Yeah,
and-
the one that's
Yeah.
not as colorful, that's the female.
That's right.
They're doing all the work.
They're
The
kind of
male's
dowdy.
looking pretty to try to get the female to get with them.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. See
But
how
any-
pretty I am? Don't you want nice babies from me?
But that one peacock was either slash the greeter or chaser, depending on if he liked you or not. When you got to the zoo, like I don't know how many times I get out the car and I literally walk to the grass and there's the peacock standing there, like,
Do I let
am I
you
going to
in?
let you pass?
Yeah. Do I let you in or not? Yep.
And so I'm just curious. I mean, he's okay, right?
You know, in India, if you kill a peacock, you're in jail for 20 years.
I believe it.
And then just if the peacock runs across the road in front of you and you just can't stop fast enough, 20 years.
Wow.
It's really revered
Wow.
in India.
Man. I bet that if they come to America, they just watch NBC all the time.
There you go. There you go. That's the one. Do they even do that anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Is it?
Occasionally, I'll watch NBC and they'll do the doom, 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 and it'll be the peacock. It's a more modern version, but yeah, they still do the peacock. Matter of fact, they have a streaming service for NBC and they call it Peacock. That's the name of their
that's
streaming
right.
service.
Yeah, that's right.
So they use the logo and the imaging and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still part of their deal. So. But we are looking, if you want to get involved, if you're looking for an organization, if you love being outdoors and animals and things like this, maybe becoming a friend of the zoo might be right near your wheelhouse here.
That's right. And if you want more information, you can call me. I'm sure everybody knows my number by now. 575-495-3325. It's just one of the entities that I take calls on.
Save that number because that number will also get you information on the Alzheimer's Association.
Right.
Also Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Right.
American Legion.
Right.
The zoo, of course.
Veterans
Transport. What else am I missing?
I think that for right now, that's
covers it all.
enough. That's enough. I'm actually trying to cut back. You know,
you're trying to, you are a retired man, and you're busier in retirement than you probably were when you were working 9 to 5.
And my job when I was working was 24/7.
Wow. So you took a break, and your break cut you to 12-hour day.
Yeah.
But please, if they're looking, we need the community to get involved. That's where we're at right now. If it's one of these things where Roswell, we're blessed with so many cool things with the amazing museums, the zoo, the airport we have amenities that are very unique to a town of this size.
That's right.
If you want to keep them, if you want to foster them, if you want to nurture them, if you want them to grow, the only way that happens is we roll up our sleeves and get involved with it. What we're seeing going on in the airport with the air races and all this stuff, we're going to see this influx. Places like the zoo, we're going to need them more than ever.
That's right.
When these growths come in, when people say, all right, we're here in Roswell, what do we want to do? Oh, they got a zoo. Let's hang out at the zoo today. Oh, they got this amazing museum. Let's go spend a few hours over there.
Right.
These are the things we need to foster and nurture. So support them. Get involved. If you love the museum stuff, get in there involved in that. If you want to see the zoo stuff, get involved with the zoo. If you want to see the rec and aquatics and you're part of the, coaching and all that, they need volunteers over there too. Pick your passions and get involved with them. Whatever
community involvement.
Absolutely,
it is vital.
You don't have to be crazy like Don and I do 7 of them. Just pick your one and get involved.
Right, you got it. Just one is more than enough.
Pick one and invest wholeheartedly in it. You know what I mean? That's part of my problem is I've signed up and I can't commit to all of them because
That's right. That's the way I'm feeling too.
Yeah,
I got too many things going, and that's why I say I got to cut back.
Yeah, I'm learning that lesson myself. Yeah, it's a hard lesson, but it's one I'm learning. So, but Friends of Zoo is we're growing strong. We're trying to get things kind of rehabbed and rising from the ashes. If you were a member before and you kind of the flooding and kind of went away, come on back. We're going to need all hands on deck to get the zoo back to the way we want it to be.
That has now, at one time, you became a member of the zoo through the city, which made you a member of the Friends of the Zoo. That has changed.
That's expired.
That's expired now. You need to be a member of the Friends of the Zoo, and we will work to get into the zoo itself and do what we need to do to help out the zoo and the animals there.
Is it kind of the Friends are getting a little more autonomy away from?
Yes.
Gotcha. They're
trying to
be more of an independent
And
organization.
that originally, when the Friends were first started, what was it, 20 years ago or something, that was the idea.
Gotcha. Almost create like a foundation
for
the zoo.
And Friends of Bitter Lake is the same idea.
Right.
They're autonomous to a point. We use the building for the nature store out there. Well, we would like to have something for the zoo in a similar manner.
Well, and it's kind of where the advantage is there is sometimes when you're dealing with a government entity, they are handcuffed on what they can and cannot do, whereas an autonomous volunteer organization that does not have the
restrictions
that come with government are able to make headway where the city or the state cannot.
That's right.
And so that's why
we're trying to work towards that. We want to build up the Friends in that mode so that we can work independently, raise the funds, and then use those funds for the zoo to enhance the experiences there.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to reach out, please. There is, I know on Facebook, there's a Friends of Bitter Lake. Go check that one out too.
Yeah.
But Friends of the Spring River Zoo. They're both good. They're both awesome.
Yeah.
And Don will help you out with either one of them. But
there you go. Yeah.
I'm so used to saying Friends of Bitter Lake. It's kind of rolls off the tongue. But Friends of the Spring River Zoo, definitely reach out. Do they have a friendsofthezoo.com kind of website or something?
No, we don't.
Or anything to do? There might be a.
There is.
Okay.
And it is Friends of the Spring River Zoo.org.
Org. That sounds right. That's org's usually the nonprofit.
Yeah, we did that for that reason.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So and if you don't remember any of that, just Google Friends of Spring River
There you
Zoo,
go.
Roswell NM, maybe and something like that.
They'll find you,
and it'll pop right up the first thing on the list there and all that. But if you do use Facebook, you can like and follow, and I highly recommend you do, because that way when there's events and things that happen and different, they usually have a lot of fun things, especially as now the friends are getting back together. They're going to start planning some fundraising events. Who knows? Might start seeing those brews at the zoos and those type events coming back to the zoo again here. But we need more people and more volunteers, more ideas, more faces, more bodies. So
and
more money.
That's right. And you'll be seeing more of the Friends of the Zoo as we progress through the year.
Sure.
We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it.
You're pulling out of the ashes yourselves a little
right.
bit. Yeah.
So again, that March 22nd.
Yeah.
Come out. It will be at the zoo. We'll gather in the.
What time is that meeting?
About 2:00 in the
2
afternoon.
p.m. Very good. So no RSVP needed, but you're more than welcome to. Just shoot a message, or if you have any questions or want more information between now and then, reach out through the Facebook there. And,
there you go.
And one of the friends will be happy to get you situated there. So good deal.
Yep.
Don, is there anything we missed?
I think we got it.
Good deal. Well, we'll. Of course, I think Don's going to hang around because next hour he's going to put his Legion hat on. So
we're going to see. We're going to do some more stuff here.
That's right. Maybe go get breakfast in between.
I'm attempting to.
You got time for a burrito run if you need to go.
There you go. It's just right over. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Martine's is right here.
There you go.
Tell them to rush the order, but they could probably get you in and out by the time that Lee and them get here. So, but thank you, Don, as always, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
All right,
Have
it is. You do the same. We'll see you in a little bit. It is 8:47. Let's do this. Let's pause for news. We'll also get your Chaves County sports update, Red Apple update, and a quick commercial break as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
And bribery of a witness. Prosecutors also allege Moniz forced one of the children to molest another child. District Court Judge Thomas Lilly scheduled a jury trial to begin on September 16th. The complaint in Roswell states that Carlsbad police also received reports of Moniz sexually abusing children a few years ago, but that no case was brought forward due to a lack of evidence. Newly released police body cam video shows a Carlsbad man admitting that he killed a 2-month-old child and then hid the secret for almost a year. The body of little Kehlani Sue Moreno was found along Queen Highway in September of last year. Family members reported the child's mother, Brianna Stallings, and her boyfriend, Manuel Guillen, were involved. In his police interview, Guillen initially admits that he fell asleep on top of the child in late 2023 after taking fentanyl. But an autopsy showed the child had broken legs and ribs. Guillen initially said that was due to CPR attempts, but then he admitted he sat on the baby's face in an attempt to make her stop crying. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Let's go to Massachusetts for this story. That's where 55-year-old Brent Hill was driving when his stomach started hurting, and within seconds, he blacked out. I'm Kim Commando for Native Path. Get 45% off plus free shipping and a free gift at getnativepath.com/Kim. When Brent regained consciousness, he heard a soft voice, and for a second, he thought he was dead. Nope, that small voice came from his Apple Watch, telling him help was on the way. You see, when Brent blacked out, his car rammed straight through his neighbor's garage and landed upside down in a pool. Thanks to crash detection on his Apple Watch, first responders arrived and saved his life. That's how it works. Your Apple Watch or iPhone detects a severe crash, sounds an alarm, and dials 911 if you don't respond. Google phones and watches have this feature too, but you have to turn it on manually. You'll find it in your emergency and safety settings. Get more tips like this delivered right to your inbox for free. Sign up for my free newsletter right now at getkim.com. One of the best kept secrets to looking and feeling amazing? Collagen. You see, as we get older, our body slows down collagen production, leading to wrinkles, thinning hair, achy joints, and brittle nails. But you can fight back naturally. With high-quality collagen from Native Path, you're giving your body the essential building blocks to support smoother skin, stronger nails, shinier hair, and even healthier joints. Some studies suggest collagen supplements may also support bone health. It's not about turning back time. It's about feeling your best at any age. If you want to glow from the inside out, add Native Path collagen to your routine. Your future self will thank you. Now, Kim Commando listeners get 45% off with free shipping and a free gift bundle. Go to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim. Don't miss out on this deal. Go to getnativepath.com/Kim right now.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but sunshine this afternoon. We have a quick cold front moving through. Low to mid-60s on today's high. Clear for the overnight hours, low 30s, and then we get sunshine on Friday, warming up a little bit. We're back to about 70 on the high. We're in the mid-70s on Saturday. It looks good. Sunshine, our warming trend continues on Sunday. It'll be sunny with upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. District basketball tournaments continue this week. There's some games last night, and the Hagerman Bobcats boys continue to step up the ladder, winning at Jowl by a score of 51-47. The Bobcats now 18-9 on the season. They'll play at Texaco Friday at 6 o'clock. Also last night, Dexter's girls lose at in Ruidoso, 42-37. Dexter's now 17-11, and we'll see what happens when the district tournament field is announced. Meanwhile, Gateway Christian surprised at home a little bit by Elida, 44-30. Gateway Christian now 13-9 on the season. You got games tonight going on. It'll be NMMI against Ruidoso, and it starts at 6 o'clock. And Gateway Christian will be playing at home against Dora. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. The government is trying to help with the cost of eggs.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says that the USDA will invest another $1 billion on top of the roughly $2 billion it has already spent battling bird flu since the current outbreak began in 2022. That announcement comes as the Agriculture Department predicts that the current record prices for eggs could soar another 40% this year.
That's Lisa Dwyer reporting. Americans are now paying about 50 cents a gallon less for gas than they were a few months ago, but many still think the price will go up again. The number who say that they are paying more has declined sharply from 61% in May of 2024. U.S. stock indices drifted to a mixed finish after climbing in the morning and then running out of momentum. The S&P closed at less than 0.1%, the Dow fell 0.4%, and the Nasdaq added 0.3%. Treasury yields fell again as worries continued about U.S. economic growth. For the Wall Street Business Report, Bernie Bennett, Washington.
This is the time of year we can get all four seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
When the temple was completed, King Solomon dedicated the temple in prayer to God. In this prayer, his God-given wisdom shined through. He started by stating the supremacy of God, praising his love for the people and for keeping his promises. He also made requests, but they were requests centered in the will of God, not his own personal will. Solomon understood that God was too big for the temple, but he still asks for him to always keep his eyes on his people and hear their prayers. Solomon also knows that even with all the blessings that God has bestowed on his people, the people will sin. Solomon prays that when the people turn back to God, that he forgives them, and that they again enjoy the blessings that come with God's favor. He also asks that God hear the prayer of the foreigner, so that all may know God and understand his ways. What a great pattern of prayer for all of us to learn. To do these things: praise God, know he's supreme, ask him to be with us, ask for forgiveness, and ask that others know God as well.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Take your career to the next level. If you have mechanical aptitude, the Crumlin Auto Group wants to talk to you. Make real money without driving to the oil field. Certified master technicians can earn up to $70 an hour. Entry-level technicians start at $20 an hour with free training and tools. The Crumlin Auto Group offers competitive wages, health insurance, a 401k, housing assistance, and a sign-on bonus of up to $20,000. You could be making over $150,000 a year. Apply today at KAGNM.com. KAGNM.com.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked a lower court order that would have forced the Trump administration to release billions in foreign aid.
Chief Justice John Roberts says the order issued by U.S. District Judge Amir Ali will remain on hold until the High Court has a chance to weigh in more fully. Ali had ordered the federal government to comply with his decision temporarily blocking a freeze on foreign aid, ruling in a lawsuit filed by nonprofit groups and businesses. An appellate panel refused the administration's request to intervene. The federal government froze foreign assistance after an executive order from President Donald Trump targeting what he called wasteful programs that do not correspond with his foreign policy goals. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
British Prime Minister Starmer is in Washington today for a meeting with President Trump. Ukraine ranking high on the agenda. Correspondent Chris Mason on the BBC says Starmer spoke with reporters during his transatlantic flight.
He repeated his desire for a so-called U.S. backstop to maintain Ukraine's security after any ceasefire. The security guarantee has to be sufficient to deter Putin from coming again, he told us. But President Trump said, I'm not going to make security guarantees beyond very much. We're going to have Europe do that.
Hamas releasing the bodies of 4 more hostages it had been holding in Gaza. In return, Israel freed hundreds of convicted Palestinian terrorists. A burst of holiday spending gave the economy a nice shot in the arm at year's end. The U.S. economy grew at a solid 2.3% annual rate the final 3 months of 2024. Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog have been found dead during a welfare check in their home in New Mexico. Foul play not suspected, according to police. Gene Hackman was 95 years old. Watching Wall Street this morning, the Dow is up 53 points, NASDAQ down 247. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. I've been thinking, why does it feel...
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A Hong Kong judge has sentenced the former pro-democracy lawmakers to 3 years and 1 month in prison on a charge of rioting after an incident in which he was beaten up at a subway station during the city's anti-government protests in 2019. Lam Chuk Ting was among dozens injured when a group of men armed with wooden poles and metal rods attacked demonstrators and bystanders at the station July 21st of 2019. Last December, Judge Stanley Chan convicted Lam of rioting, rejecting his claim that he was acting as a mediator at the scene. 8 people have died in an overnight fire in a suburb of Manila, the Philippines. The blaze gutted a 3-story residential building in less than 1 hour. The fire, which also injured at least 1 resident, broke out after midnight in the building, which was mostly made of wood, as people were asleep. An investigation now being launched to determine the cause of that blaze in the Philippines. News and analysis at townhall.com. Recalling a day of terror in New York, foreshadowing an even deadlier, more horrific day to come.
New York City has marked the anniversary of the 1993 bombing at the Old World Trade Center, when Islamic extremists made their first attempt at bringing down the Twin Towers. A bell tolled at 12:18 p.m. to mark the time of the attack. The grandchildren of Stephen Knapp read the names of the deceased.
John D. Giovanni, Robert Kirkpatrick, and our grandfather, Stephen A. Knapp.
William Macco, Wilfredo Mercado, and Monica Rodriguez Smith, and her unborn child, baby Eddie.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Hospitalized in Rome, Pope Francis continuing his slow recovery from double pneumonia. The 88-year-old patient said to have had a restful night. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce, isn't it?
It is. Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Right.
Digging it? Yeah, it's kind of a interesting time. You know, we're like, February's wrapping up, so we're getting into March, so things starting to get busy, but it's still like a little bit more quiet before it gets busy again. Uh-huh. That's what I feel like I'm at right now.
On a local level, yes.
Yeah.
But if you like, on like I haven't. The noise has not stopped since January 1st.
Oh, the world.
In my head, it's constant, never stops. But the weather's nice.
That's right. See, I honestly do. This is something, and I highly recommend it for many people.
Mm-hmm.
The world's going to be the world.
Right.
Can't control the world.
It's true.
I just live my life, do my thing, and not that I don't have concerns and cares and things, but
sure,
I don't let them consume me.
Yeah, I'm a well-wisher in that I don't wish anyone any specific harm, but yeah, for the most part, it's I try to live and let live. It's just more like,
and
there's certain things that are just outrageous.
And pull back the curtain. I'm the guy that sits on the park bench and watches the world go up in flames. I'm that guy. I'd be like, I'll eat the bag of chips and watch
feeding pigeons.
Yeah, I'm kind of that. Because at the end of the day, you got to handle me and mine, and the rest is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, but it's more worried about how it's going to take care of itself. Oh, but you know what? I will say this. bit of good news. That 1.7% chance that we had of a 300-mile meteor hitting the Earth in 2032,
right?
It's been reduced to like 0.001345%.
Well, if it's anything like the weather, we're doomed.
I'm trying to stay optimistic, Michael.
Like when they say it's a 90% chance of rain, it never rains. It's when it's 5% that we get poured on.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I hope meteorologists don't go to the same school that whoever predicts space asteroids goes to.
But saying that the asteroid isn't going to hit the Earth in 2032 is optimistic for two reasons. Number one, we're going to make it to 2032. That's the goal at this point. If we could just make it till 2032.
Some of us will. Just kidding. Happy Thursday, everybody.
We're almost there. We're Bon Jovi status. Real lemon on a pear.
But I've always just been that. That's kind of my. And some days are easier, others to follow it. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm the same guy that'll yell in an email for 3 minutes because one word annoys me. But in the big picture, I'm fine.
Well, I've learned over the years, the one thing you never want to say is, Mike, are you okay? Just let him do his thing.
Right.
Let him have his tantrum.
I'm fine.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm a tea kettle. Sometimes you got to let it whistle.
It's best to just go to your room, do your thing, and let him get through, and it'll pass. It always passes.
As soon as the whistling goes,
that's right.
Then I'm a delicious cup of tea.
Gotta get that pressure out. You know what I'm saying?
So, but yeah, I mean, so don't take my advice for anything. I'm bad at everything.
Well, the guy on the radio said this is how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Short bursts of rage. That's how you get it done.
Yeah.
The morning show guy said so.
That actually would be a good feature in my home. Said I got like millionaire, billionaire money, a rage room where I could just go in. Just literally, here's some baseball bats, hockey sticks. Here's some various TVs and things. Go have at it,
Your hockey sticks.
Right.
Thanks,
of course,
Gerald.
As I get from millionaire to billionaire status, the toys get more,
Well,
flamethrowers.
I just like the visual of you just raging, and at the end, and you walk out and they go, "Very good, sir." And then a team of people just go in to take all the bad stuff out and replace it with like a new CRT TV from 1997 and like shelf of China. Just something for next time.
There's only one bit you missed from that whole scenario. As soon as I walk out the room, I say, better to the soft serve ice cream machine.
Off to the. We have not talked about this on the radio yet.
Okay.
But I sent this to Mike via link like maybe a month ago. Ninja.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Ninja is one of the most amazing companies in the world. If they have a thing that cooks or makes something, Ninja has a better version of it. And they just put out, like you've seen the one that you can take any like fruit and turn it into a smoothie.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Yeah, it's a blender.
This new device is a straight up countertop soft serve ice cream machine. Like with the thing and the crank and I gotta look it up. I think it's called the Ninja. Not the creamy. This one's called something else completely.
I wonder if it needs a bunch of proprietized stuff.
I would imagine if you just put in the stuff to make ice cream that it makes it.
Okay, I didn't know.
It's called the Swirl.
I didn't know if I had to buy like a bag of Ninja mix or something to throw in this thing.
Because then they have the slushy that makes slushes. The creamy it says it makes ice cream, but hang on, where's the countertop soft serve? According to this, you can get a countertop ice cream machine on Temu for $19.07.
I'm sure that one's gonna work.
So
it's probably about the size of a pen, and it gives you ice cream shots.
Oh, where is it? Well, this isn't the same thing. This is called the Mix It In Soft Serve Ice Cream Maker, and it's a big unit, but it's $180 at Walmart. So I'm just saying, you are within your means to obtain your dreams now. You dream mid.
I do,
and that's good. That's a good thing.
I'm a mid dreamer, and I'm happy.
I can appreciate that.
I'm very much the dodgeball, You know, don't set the bar too high. That way you're never disappointed.
I'm the guy who most of my bucket list is filled with go to blank and try world's blankiest blank.
Yeah.
Like that's that. Like I want to go to, try the world's most expensive sundae at Serendipity 3 in New York City.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'll go to 30 Rock or whatever, but it's really about the sundae. I'm just the guy that wants to just try the world's whateverest whatever.
Yeah.
It's obtainable dreams that you got to have.
Well, and I think I would, yeah. But at the end of the day, though, if I hit billionaire baller status, I don't want a Ninja one.
You want the Taylor.
I want the one
commercial
that professionals use everywhere.
With a guy to come in every couple of days just to service it.
Just to put the and then be honest, I don't need the 3-jobber.
See,
just give me the one with chocolate and we're all good.
That's the problem with the richer you get, the more people you have to just let into your world to just do stuff.
Well, because then you got to get the security.
Because you got to get the guy who's going to take care of the lion.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a guy.
Well,
you're not going to do your own gardening.
Maybe it'll be one of those things where I have a guy. No, it'd be me, I guess. Push the machine out to the gate and say, fix it, and then I push it back into the house.
No, true baller status is push it out to the garbage on the collection on the sidewalk and wheel in the new one.
Right, just bring in a new one. Mm-hmm. This one's
have
empty.
Like 6 of them in your garage, just plastic wrapped for just such an occasion.
This one's empty. I need a new one.
You can just refit. No, new only.
That's right.
But so it is written, so it shall come to pass.
Yeah, but that to be honest, that would be, and the rest of the house, I mean, I guess at this point, I need a rage room and a soft serve ice cream machine. Past that, I'm good to go.
That's Mike's 2 beds and a coffee machine. All I need in life is a rage room and a soft serve machine. A man of simple means. I admire it.
And then I guess, and this would be, since we're going this route, and I've seen, and the only reason like, if you ever watched the TV show, the HBO show Hacks?
I've seen, previews of it.
Well, and this is not a relevant thing to it. It's just something I've noticed on the show. Is, and I think I would do this too, is the Jean Smart character, the main character. She's kind of a, her name is Joan Rivers type. It's kind of a loosely based off of Joan Rivers.
Celebrity,
yeah. And so, but anyway, she's a comedian, legendary comedian, But anyway, the whole point of what I'm saying is in her kitchen, on her kitchen counter, she has a soda fountain dispenser with Diet Coke,
nice.
Coke, Okay. Now it's not a freestyle. It's not that fancy.
Right, but it's one of the old school.
And I'm kind of that would be delightful to have in your kitchen.
I'm not going to lie. If you can get somebody like a tech to come in and really calibrate the ratios of carbonation because that's the problem. Certain places, and I've recently just found this out, certain companies have proprietary ratios. Only McDonald's has the Coke at the ratio that they have.
Right.
No other place can set their machines at those ratios. So it's if I could have a guy come and be like, I want Mickey D's ratio today. And then tomorrow be like, let's go 7-Eleven, for that old school approach.
Speaking of that, and then I think our guests are here, but I had a notice when we come to the soda things, and we talked about with McDonald's and how the precision ice and all that. We even talked about the straw, and all that. Well, not too long ago, I got a soda water from McDonald's, and I guess they didn't have any of their McDonald's straws.
Right.
I just got a clear.
It's not that you didn't get a McDonald's. They went nationwide, went clear straws for a minute. I think they still are.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I will tell you this: the Coke tastes different to me.
Really?
I noticed it didn't taste quite as the straw made a difference to me.
Well, I will say
I know it's weird, but I noticed.
For a while, everybody, and I mean, including like when I went out of town, they were giving out clear straws.
Yeah.
And I will say this, and it's a little thing, but I'm teaching my children the finer art of firing off straw paper. And
it's a bad thing.
And the clear straws have looser straw paper. So once you strip the straw and you get it kind of a little loose a little bit, don't give me. Then they got a little. It's much easier. My son is a freaking deadeye. He nailed me in the ear from across. All right.
Boy's a sharpshooter.
Sniper in my family. I don't know.
Nice.
You know, the headshot.
But I did notice it did taste slightly different.
I will say, though, I visited a local establishment yesterday. They were back to the
OG straws.
The opaque white and red and all those. So
thank Elon Musk.
There you go. Bring the straws back.
All right, let's get the hour going.
I like clear straws because if you're drinking a Sprite, it just looks like nothing.
I get it, but like the McDonald's they spoilt me. They spoilt me a little bit on how it is, and now when I went there, I was like, "This is different."
I think it's psychosomatic.
Could be.
I think it's that you think it's going to taste different, so therefore it does.
Well, it's because and here's the thing, they are the only straw I noticed that's not round.
The McDonald's straw?
Correct.
Or the original McDonald's, the OG white.
Yeah, the white.
It's not round.
It's more oval.
I never noticed that. I was going to say they're about the same diameter.
They're more oval.
But
they have a different lip feel.
A different lip feel.
Telling you.
You were in this nation's military, sir, and you just used the word lip feel.
It has a different lip feel.
Let it go. He's from a different time. But you know what? I'm going to have to do my own little experimentation. I will say that the clear straws didn't fit as well into the large lids and would often dent. That's a little annoying.
Because the other straws oval.
Because we're made for each other. Lip feel. Mike, lip feel winners.
This is the conspiracy theories I go. Who killed Kennedy? Who cares? What's going on with the straws?
What's up with the straws, McDonald's? Get it together.
All right. We have the folks from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association joining us, Lori Dudick and Amy McVeigh-Tejas, talking about Teen Leadership Institute coming up here in April. But deadlines to register are just weeks away. So we're going to talk about that. If you have no idea what it is, well, stay listening. We'll tell you about that here as well. It is 8:20. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but sunshine this afternoon. We have a quick cold front moving through. Low to mid-60s on today's high. Clear for the overnight hours, low 30s, and then we get sunshine on Friday, warming up a little bit. We're back to about 70 on the high. We're in the mid-70s on Saturday. It looks good. Sunshine, our warming trend continues on Sunday. It'll be sunny with upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 35%. Winds are out of the north at 7 miles per hour. Sunny and a little cooler today, 60s. 63 are expected high. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later shifting to the southeast this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 32 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, back up into the low 70s. Sunny and 72 with winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sorry about that. Hiccups. Friday night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 35. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we're warming up a little bit more. Sunny and 74. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, breezy but warm. 77 for a high under sunny skies. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school and all that, mostly sunny and breezy, highs near 80, 79 officially there. All right, 8:21, we're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then Lori and Amy with Leadership Roswell Alumni Association will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Take your career to the next level. If you have mechanical aptitude, the Crumlin Auto Group wants to talk to you. Make real money without driving to the oil field. Certified master technicians can earn up to $70 an hour. Entry-level technicians start at $20 an hour with free training and tools. The Crumlin Auto Group offers competitive wages, health insurance, a 401k, housing assistance, and a sign-on bonus of up to $20,000. You could be making over $150,000 a year. Apply today at KAGNM.com KAGNM.com, KAGNM.com.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
When the temple was completed, King Solomon dedicated the temple in prayer to God. In this prayer, his God-given wisdom shined through. He started by stating the supremacy of God, praising his love for the people and for keeping his promises. He also made requests, but they were requests centered in the will of God, not his own personal will. Solomon understood that God was too big for the temple, but he still asks for him to always keep his eyes on his people and hear their prayers. Solomon also knows that even with all the blessings that God has bestowed on his people, the people will sin. Solomon prays that when the people turn back to God, that he forgives them, and that they again enjoy the blessings that come with God's favor. He also asks that God hear the prayer of the foreigner, so that all may know God and understand his ways. What a great pattern of prayer for all of us to learn. To do these things: praise God, know he's supreme, ask him to be with us, ask for forgiveness, and ask that others know God as well.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, Lori Dudick and Amy McVeigh-Teas back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody doing this morning?
We're great.
Beautiful day.
Can I say the weather's nice? That kinda,
yeah.
It feels spring-like.
It is.
Spring beautiful out there.
Yeah, springish, which now kind of makes it feel more appropriate for what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Because coming up here, April 11th, is the annual Leadership Roswell Alumni Association's Teen Leadership Institute. That's a lot of words to say in one sentence. But this has been going on, and we had Damon and them on last week, and we were talking. It's been at least 20 years.
Actually, it's been 29 years.
29 years. We were trying to get the number. So Lori comes in with the official numbers here. So
yes.
I knew it's been a long time that that's been doing it. And this is and for years we've of course partnered with the New Mexico Military Institute to kind of help. They're kind of in the leadership business over there. So good people to partner with in this type of event here. But of course, over the years it's evolved from like a 1 day to a 2 day to 3 day. It's back to a 2 day event, and it will be April 11th and 12th. And this is and if you've never heard of it, this is for high school juniors and seniors.
Yes.
And repeat customers are welcome. So if you're a high school junior and participated last year, come on down.
I think the challenge is out. I've seen the list of applicants, and I don't know if we have anybody from last year. So
really?
The challenge is out. I could be wrong.
We want you to
probably
come back.
listening, and I'll stand corrected. Desi texts me. But I think the challenge is out there.
Good.
I think we'd love to have them back because they can show the others how it's done.
Well,
that's right.
Exactly.
They got their feet wet the first year.
You get to practice what you learned last year.
That's it.
And it's all new. We have all new speakers, and so it's not like they're repeating the same exact course.
Yeah,
it'll be something new and exciting every single year.
Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of thing. I mean, the goal's the same.
Yes.
But it's kind of an evolution to it. So,
Yes.
so if year one, you're going to take more from it in year two. And like you said, some of the exercises are different, but the same, and a little bit. We're still going to put you up high and doing things
Yes.
that put you out of your comfort zone.
Definitely.
That's all part of the experience.
I know the
and
challenge has been out there before on the best leadership class ever type
Yes.
thing. I might say we're working on one of the best years ever.
Yes,
with what we're
throwing some gauntlets.
I agree.
or we're working to be at the top.
Absolutely. But the cool part about it is, like you said, we got a 29-year history
Yes.
here, and over the years, you get alumni coming back, and the great part about it is every one of these now grown adults going on to be productive citizens in life are going on to, and every single one of them come back and say, man, a lot of, I mean, not everything they attribute to is from that weekend, but they point out to a lot of things saying,
Yes.
you know what? This weekend really motivated me, inspired me to move on to do this thing. And so the credit is all theirs. They're the ones that did the work. But the things they learned in that 2-day or 3-day, depending on when they went and did it, they're still utilizing those skill sets today in their lives. And that's the great
I think it's always exciting when you see them go through Teen Leadership Roswell, and then, because it's been 29 years, now they're going through the adult class.
Right. They've
And that
had a
is
full
just
circle
super
moment.
cool, you know,
Amazing.
to see that,
Yeah.
you know, to see that experience and see how they've evolved through the years, their leadership, and they're still focused. But the one thing that I really like to encourage people to realize about teen leadership, it's not for the already teen leader. It's for the emerging teen
Absolutely.
leader.
We're
You know, so
developing
yeah,
leaders.
I was
That's
talking
it.
to a mother, and she said, you know what, my son's a little, you know, trepidatious. He's not real excited. I said, that's exactly
about to say,
the
that's
person.
the perfect-
That's the one we want.
This is
We
what
want
this
them
is
to.
about.
We want to pull out the leader that's
Well-
in them that we know is hidden in them.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, too, and this is something that every human being needs to understand. We are all leaders
Exactly.
in some way, shape, or form, or
Exactly right.
circle. Whether it's your own family, whether it's at your workplace, whether it's at a civic group, whether it's in your social friends or something like that. You do serve leadership roles. So regardless of what your goals or aspirations are in life, the skill sets you're going to learn at the Teen Leadership Institute will serve you well, whether you're
I
going
agree.
to be an artist solo, because you're still going to have to navigate and talk with people and deal with life.
And I definitely think it even helps you as a parent.
Absolutely.
You know, later on, you know, all these teens someday will be parents, and you want to encourage your children to do things outside of the comfort zone, to do these things that they haven't or never would have considered themselves doing, to go out and do.
We're
and have some fun.
transforming. We're transforming because I think another thing that I really noticed even last year is I think some of these individuals that really think they're these powerful leaders, we pull out these characteristics to balance the dynamics
Yes.
of which perhaps were hidden. I think we could all agree we don't need that big cheerleading horn to screech at the rooftops with volume to be that leader, and we're finding those characteristics that can really pull and
There's
unify.
different leaders.
Absolutely,
There's different types of leaders.
And I would even maybe make an argument that, you know, as we learn that the most effective leaders aren't leaders that pigeonhole themselves in one style of leadership.
Exactly.
Where, you know, okay, maybe this time it's time to play the little tougher, but in this moment, it's more the mentor, it's more the motivator,
Or
it's more
the
the
servant.
cheerleader,
Yes.
or the servant. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
We
A
lift them
good
up.
leader knows when to lead, when to follow,
Yes.
and when to just, you know, let the room do what the room's going to
The
do.
powerful point in those teams is when we're all as leaders sitting back and saying
Watching it.
that one dynamic individual, that silent servant soul,
Yes.
has the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And they
And
learn
we're
to
gonna
work.
lift it
They
up.
learn to work in a team.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, and I think that's part of
So
what
wonderful.
you know, learning to death. What is a leader? And
Exactly.
and most
Yes.
people, if you say
Define
leader, they'll say
definition.
dictator, and you know that's like
No,
that's
absolutely
that's a
not.
form of leadership, I guess. But is that
But
a
not the best.
leader? You know what I'm saying? And that's what you know. But that being said, I'm not going to say there is not a time in a moment where maybe a little dictatorship is what's needed for the moment.
Or
you know,
a
that's
cheerleader.
just-
you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
cheering them on with
That's
the volume.
definitely.
Right.
To be able
We're all
to
cheerleaders.
evolve and adapt and to adjust to the situation is with a real true mark of leadership.
For
is.
Exactly.
sure.
And to be able to, you know, when you look at, you know, and think about it, you look at all the leaders that we society admire, and whether it's in the sports world or the
Right.
political world, or the history, wherever that is, you look and you start reading the history and learning about these people. They're dealing with all the same things you are, the things we're teaching,
Exactly.
there's the struggles. The people that we think of as great they did just roll out the bed and be great. You know,
that's exactly right.
You know, they had to learn to be there. They had to. George Washington, we look at, and you know what? There's a lot of George Washington's life that we look at. Like, whoa, that was dumb. You know, there was history to, you know, but he had to learn to get there. You know what I mean? That's what we're all. You know, we learn about. You know, these great people. We didn't learn about the years in the books that they were growing up as kids and doing or whatever.
Developing,
developing life challenges and things like that. And so this is what teen leadership is. You get to learn, you know.
Exactly.
If you want to be the next Neil Armstrongs or whoever out there, they all started at places like this.
Exactly. You don't even realize what's inside of you until it's challenged to come out.
Yep.
You know that we have a volunteer that's one of our leaders that assists, and it's my daughter. You know, she actually went through the teen leadership group probably 10, 12 years ago. And she said, you know, last year, Mom, you know, I want to give back. I want to help out my community. What can I do? She's a young mother now.
That's great.
She's
Gave her the
married.
server's
Yes.
heart.
And so, so she's one of our leaders. And it's exciting to have her. That's Amanda.
And that's another, you know, this is another aspect of it too, that, you know, and this is kind of the ancillary stuff where because this program, and we haven't really talked as much about that. It really is youth driven and youth run. The adults are in the room to kind of guide and to keep everybody on task. But at the end of the day, you know, the youth are kind of the curriculum to solve it. They're utilizing leadership skills in doing this stuff. And with that, it develops the things that not even instructors can teach. It's that the human dynamic, the interaction, talking with people, dealing with problems, overcoming problems, putting them in scenarios where they're forcing people to talk to each other and do things that may and when we grew up, that was, I wouldn't say less important, but we had more opportunities to do it because of the technology. But technology is kind of changing that a little bit.
It is.
And that's I've got to be honest, that's a real problem we are going to have to tackle is human interfacing and interaction where we live in a world where we're doing less of that. We cannot not teach that, and so teen leadership. That's all that is.
We unify.
That human interaction.
I think one of the things we're proud of is we try to get as many school representation members, whether it's county, whether it's city. And at the end of the day, the dynamic component of this is unifying, whether it's Roswell High, Goddard, Early College, and at homeschool, Dexter, Artesia, Fort Sumner.
That's what we love to see, like your homeschools and things like that.
Think of what a powerful dynamic, and I think that's something to be said for our community in general.
Respect the differences
of
other people.
Yes, and celebrate them.
And especially, you know, and that's the funny part. We joke about it, but it's true. You'll have bulldogs and cavemen and rockets and coyotes all together.
Warriors.
Holding hands. Yeah.
And that is beautiful. Oh, and youth challenge.
Oh, yes, and the youth challenge.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you challenge.
But if we have not mentioned a name, that tells us we want more.
Yes.
We'd love more representation.
And it's just interesting because they don't realize.
Bring some demons and some, bring them all in.
They just don't realize how much they have in common.
Yeah.
They always see what they don't
have. There's like 37 wildcats out there. Let's bring some wildcats in
But at the end of the day, they take their colors off. They have our beautiful tail-light T-shirt on, right?
They all have a matching shirt on.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's from what school.
That's right.
And we actually try to break them up. You know, we don't want all of one school to be together.
Well, and that's part of the thing. It's like, because, you know, people gravitate to people they know. So you just watch all the debates, like, okay, watch the group. Now let's break that one up, break that one up, and break that one up.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, they're not going to their go-to person.
Well, that's the cool part.
We love that.
They've made some lifetime friends, actually.
At lunch.
By the end of the day, too, they're all, there's new little circles and new little.
And they're cheering each other on, and they're excited about their own achievements.
Sure.
So, yes.
Celebrating one another.
And I would imagine there's even a few of those moments where they knew each other in a rival situation.
Oh, yes.
That's true.
And then they're meeting them in a non-rival situation.
Yes.
And you tend to learn a lot of
They're
people.
very neutral, yes.
Then you realize, oh, man, they're just me in a different color uniform. You know what I mean?
So true.
You know, you tend to find out.
It's true.
It's just,
and you talk about things that you normally would never talk about, like your strengths and your weaknesses.
Absolutely.
And that's exciting. And to know that the person, you know, right across from me has the same insecurities that I have. That's a beautiful moment when they find that
powerful.
out.
And that's the beauty of, you know, yes, we're teaching leadership, we're teaching, but it's really teaching humanity. It's teaching what makes us common, what makes it, and in a world where we celebrate the individual, which is nothing wrong with that, sometimes we get lost in celebrating the individual that we miss the greater good.
Yes.
And this
We're
reminds
not
us of the
taking
greater good sometimes.
To see it, look around, and reach out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really is.
And then one other big, humongous bonus that we haven't even talked about is the scholarship.
That's right,
Yeah,
money.
Yes,
Yes,
there's money
the
involved.
dangle of the carrot.
Yes. It costs nothing to participate
Yes.
in this event. You know, the Teen Leadership Program, there is no fee. So parents can't say, well, you know, I can't afford it this year. Well, you can't afford not to do this because it is
The
free.
only thing we're asking is your time.
Yes,
That's right.
Exactly.
And it's very, very.
And it's going to be time well spent
The
for your
application is very
student.
simple. I think we need to be very clear that this is not something you can apply for on paper.
Right.
That they have to apply. They have to apply through the Google documents.
Well, and this is something we want to make, you know, we're wrestling. We want to get as many people interested in
Yes.
applying, but space is limited. We only have X amount of slots.
I think we're
It is-
taking 30.
It's first come, first serve. It's so we got to get here early. So
and the
so-
deadline's right around the corner.
But
March
part-
the 7th.
But part of that
It's here.
process is following the instructions and doing it to the
Yeah.
to the way.
The simple
And
direction.
it's kind of like, think of it like when you apply for scholarships.
Exactly.
You know, part of the scholarship applying
Filling out
process
the form.
to seeing if you can follow instructions and follow the part. That is a test, folks. That's not that's by design. They do this. So there's a little of that going on here. So we want to, and so even if it might. Put it this way: if you have questions, don't hesitate to call any alumna member. Certainly, you can call Amy or Lori or myself, or Damon or any of the alumni that and they'll be happy to get you signed up here.
And the links are through the Roswell Chamber.
Yeah.
Yes. So many of them.
Or they can even email. They can even email roswellteenleadership@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And then, of course, if you're a Facebooker, if you Leadership
yes,
Roswell alumni.
exactly. And share this information.
Yeah,
Yes.
they'll get out there, share it, but you'll find it out there, and you'll usually find links to an application
Exactly.
there. But here's the thing. Now, the event itself will be the 11th and 12th of April.
Yes.
But coming up here in a few short weeks is the deadline to register for actually, and it's about a month prior.
Right, March the 7th.
So we're
March the
looking,
7th.
is that next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy
Oh,
cow,
really?
that is next
Yes.
week,
Next
isn't it?
Friday.
Yeah, that's next
Friday.
week, next Friday. We're basically a week away from the deadline here.
Can you believe that?
It's incredible.
And here's the deal. They don't like to extend this because
No.
there's a lot
No.
of moving parts and logistics that have to happen, and they need head counts and numbers and all this stuff. And
place the
anything
orders.
past the 7th is going to seriously hamper their abilities to do that.
That's exactly right. Meals will be provided.
Oh,
One thing
yes.
we haven't mentioned that I think is so important, if you're listening and you really do not have any involvement with youth, I can't think of a better way for you to invest. We're still looking
Exactly.
for sponsors,
Sponsorships. Yes.
in
This is
any
the-
capacity.
This is the thing too: is they give away thousands of dollars in scholarship money
Yes.
at the end of this. The cool part is high school juniors, high school seniors are both eligible for the scholarships. If you were awarded one in the junior year, you can come back and double dip year two. This is part of it.
We want you to.
We
It's
encourage it
amazing.
and recommend that you do that. The other part is the students have a hand in the selection of these things. It's not just a couple of people saying, "Oh, that kid seemed good. Let's give him a scholarship." You know,
No,
it's
there's-
really
we take it
the
very
group
seriously.
that kind of who's worthy, who's kind of that's
Yes.
part of the process. So it makes it much more impactful. It makes it. But here's the deal. Because of the only way we can do this is through the generosity of private donors
Exactly.
and things.
That's right.
We're very
Wonderful
blessed
businesses,
with some
yes.
Great
very
sponsors.
businesses and private donors that have contributed thousands of dollars over 29 years of doing this. We keep trying to bigger and outdo ourselves each and every year.
Every
and
year.
almost every year we win on that one.
And we're going to go 30 for 30
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
next year.
And
But we have to get through this year. And
So
it's
the
gonna be a
real
great
thing
year.
is the donors, the
That's
people.
right.
If you're a business or an organization or an individual, and you really value what the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is doing here, we're asking you to invest in these kids because at the end of the day, these high school seniors and juniors are going to be the next city councilors. They're going to be the
Yes.
next mayors. They're going to be the
That's
next
right.
county
Truly is our
commissioners.
future. Our
They're going to be
future
our
depends
next.
on
Yeah,
them.
these are going to be
The
the folks
legacy.
that when we're sitting on our
Tomorrow.
chair, hollering and moaning about getting off our lawn and all that nonsense. Can't wait to get to that age, by the way. I've been excited. I just want to say things and they just chalk it up. Well, don't worry about it. Can't wait to get there. But when we're along doing that, these are going to be the folks that are running the show. And
Yes,
so
that's right.
we want to equip them with everything we can to do it. And And as a parent, I would think you would want to give every tool in the tool bag available to your child for whatever their dream is.
Believe in them.
And this is the thing and please, this is the thing I want. This isn't some ticket to NIMI. This isn't some path to military. This isn't. Now, if your goals are those things,
we'll help you get
we'll
there.
help you get there.
100%.
But it does not matter if your goals are to have a bright future, which I'm pretty sure we all have that one.
That's right.
This is going to help you in getting that, whatever you take it. Whether you're, I want to be a chef. I want to be I want to be an artist. I want to be
best version of themselves.
a professional baseball player. I want to be a nurse. Whatever it is, this will help you get there. That's.
And graduating from this program, I think, looks wonderful on resumes.
Exactly.
We've talked about that so much.
It's a great bullet point for college degrees and applications and all that.
Shows you have initiative.
Yes.
Well, and I don't know. I'm not totally up. It's been a minute since I've been playing in this world, but I've always thought when colleges, they're always looking for well-rounded individuals, people that are have usually
community minded,
a jack of many trades kind of thing, or at least a person that's broad. Because a young person, you're not supposed to be good at 20 things, but at least be exposed to 20 things. That's kind of the way you look at it. And so they're looking to see, well, how worldly you are. How are you in your own little bubble, or are you cognizant of the world around you? And things like this give them evidence to say, you know what, this person might be pretty well read and well versed on life.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
And so this is the evidence they use to do that. So please, if you are a high school junior or a high school senior, I also believe you can probably hit up your high school guidance counselors at pretty much every high school within the sound of my voice that and you can get applications there as well too. Parents, if you're hearing about this, please put the bee in your bonnet for your high school, because from your standpoint, it's like you want a little lighter pocketbook expense for whatever's coming next. It's coming. Encourage your child to do this out.
Well, and that last minute individual, I think, needs to do a little bit of work. We're needing some letters of rec. We're needing we need that information. So you need to get involved.
You got about a week left, but this isn't just something you can crank out in an hour. You need to put, much like the Leadership Roswell application, for which we'll probably have some folks coming here in a month or two to talk about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so exciting.
Probably the same folks, but the next class they'll be graduating here in a couple months, and the new class will start right after that.
Exactly.
So.
This well-oiled engine, right?
Yep.
Just keeps
and guess what? August will be here for you know it. I know it's only February now, but we blink an eye and it'll be August.
This will be here before we know it.
Yeah, right. Kids will be graduating. It's the whole thing. But
so true.
But we're basically a week out for registration here. March 7th by end of business. You need to get these applications in. If you see the applications, there is a little QR code that you can scan and do, and your kid probably knows all about it. So if your parent, ask the high school junior or senior that is applying. They know more about it than you do.
Oh, yes.
Let them navigate through that. But get that done. Be on their bonnet about this one, and get those applications. Like we said, we're not looking to extend deadlines or any of that stuff. So we want to make sure you get these applications in by end of business here on the 7th. So that way we can make sure there's enough food, there's enough shirts, make sure our people that have been kind enough to sponsor this get their mentions and all that stuff. And please reach out to anybody, Damon, Desi, Amy, Lori, myself. If you want to help out, sponsor this thing, please reach out to the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. $100, $50, $1 million, whatever you got, will help push another scholarship for another student here. It would be kind of cool if we could give everybody a scholarship. I know that's a little shooting for the moon, but
anything's possible. Can we agree on that?
I agree.
Absolutely. But and if you know what, if you want to learn more about it, I invite you to come out that weekend and just watch and observe. You want to see where your money's being spent? Come out and watch it.
You won't be disappointed.
See what you're investing into, and come be a part of it here. And I would invite you to learn more about Leadership Roswell. And if you're an alum out there, I'm going to throw that, Pat. There's 30 plus years. Lori, do you know the number?
I think 41.
41. Okay. I was like, did we hit the fours yet?
I think so. 41 years.
I was like, Lori's in the room. She knows these things.
You better believe it. That's for sure.
There's 41 years of Leadership Roswell.
Yes.
30 on average class per year. That's a lot of alum.
There's a mixer tonight.
That's right. There's the
sending-
mixer
there's
at
mixer
the Liberty.
At the Liberty,
Yeah.
just for people who
Do
haven't
you have to
been
RSVP
involved.
or can you just show up? I know there was
I
like
believe you can show up.
I think there's a thing on Facebook and it
There
said just
is.
RSVP
Definitely.
in the
And on social
comments.
media.
It said just like
Yes.
RSVP in the comments.
Yes.
But I think at
Just
this
hit it.
point,
Social media.
if you
Yes.
rolled up in there and you might get the Norm for cheers at
Yes.
the moment and sit down and
Well,
you know.
I think that's so important. If you haven't been involved for a while, get
Sure.
involved.
Yes.
And yeah, and we're looking for more alum to get more involved with
Yep, I
teen,
agree.
Team leadership, but
Oh,
also
And
with
actually, yes.
with the Leadership Roswell program.
Yes.
You can never have enough.
I'm just saying, we've had a lot of great people that have been a part of this program for
Yes.
so many years.
Good.
We're not going to be blessed to have them forever.
That is so
we need
true.
the next generation.
We do.
to
I
to
agree.
fill that
I
void.
love the Alumni Association, though, with the youth and
Mhm.
some of the veterans, and then the mix in between.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yep, and that's what I mean. I think we're just like I said. After 40 years of this, we're getting to where batons are going to be passed and things like that, and we need the next generations. We need the folks that were part of this over the last 30 years
For
to
sure.
come back to the fold and see and get back to seeing what this is about and helping out and it starts. Come out with the teen leadership. Come out in April here, 11th and 12th.
Watch,
Come
see
on
how
out.
it works,
And bring
they'll
go-
be very impressed.
Come out to the Liberty tonight and have a beverage or two with some folks and let's see what happens. Chit chat. More conversations happen over a drink sometimes.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
And if you have a high school junior or a high school senior, please look research, look
Believe in
into
them.
the Teen
Yes.
Leadership Institute. Sign up for this. It's free to sign up. And they can end up with a couple grand in scholarship money by the end of the day, depending on the weekend and everything else. But I will tell you this: whether they walk out of there with a check or not, what they will walk out of there with some valuable skills that will serve them until the day they leave this earth.
That is
exactly
100%.
Good deal. Do we miss anything? Did we get anything?
I think
Did we
you
cover
got
the gamut?
it all.
Yeah. Cover the gamut. I get like this because I see it's important. This
Yes, it's so powerful.
If I don't care what side of political fences you're on, if you're mad at the world and everything in it right now, you know how you fix it? It's not yelling on Facebook.
No.
It's investing
Get
in
in
this
there.
stuff like this,
Yes.
doing stuff like this. Getting on the Roswell government pages or whatever pages or talk pages and calling everybody Nazis or whatever else you want to do on there. That feels fun, I guess, for half a minute till you burn that bridge and then you go see them at Walmart later. Which that's always awkward. But anyway, you can do all that. Or maybe let's invest time and money
Yes.
into our future,
Maybe
into
be the
our
change
kids,
you wanna see.
and let's instill the values into our future.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing here. So thank you, ladies.
Well, thank
Mike.
you.
We
And,
really appreciate it.
Anytime, and we'll see y'all next time here.
We'll be back.
We will
be back. That was a threat. I'm just Thank you, ladies. We'll see you
Thank
next time. It is 8:50. Let's pause for news. Chaves County sports. Oh, by the way, we will be carrying Roswell High on. They're taking on Carlsbad for semis in the district tournament tonight. KSVPTV.com will be streaming that game for you. If they win tonight, they will play for the district championship, tournament championship. I got to get the lingo right because it's kind of muddy. On Saturday, we will also carry that for you here, and then we'll see where all the pieces fall after this weekend on state playoffs and all that. But I'll tell you, if we can get video rights for any of those teams that are going first round, if they have to travel, whatever, we will try to procure those. I will tell you this right now: if any teams go to the tournament the week after, it will be radio only, and so we may get morning shows cut just depending on schedules and all that. Of course, they've got a few games between now and then, so I'm being a little premature. But if and when all that goes down, we'll have it covered for you. So we
Great.
will have Roswell High tonight taking on Carlsbad.
Go Coyotes.
KSCPTV.com. So it won't be on the radio, but video. You can watch the video.
That is great.
Sorry. Would you rather see it or just hear it? I just want to hear it. You guys suck. We're going to pause for news. We'll be back.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A Chaves County man who is accused of sexually assaulting children has pleaded not guilty to a slew of crimes. 41-year-old Paul Moniz is facing 7 charges involving children under the age of 13 and bribery of a witness. Prosecutors also allege Moniz forced one of the children to molest another child. District Court Judge Thomas Lilly scheduled a jury trial to begin on September 16th. The complaint in Roswell states that Carlsbad police also received reports of Moniz sexually abusing children a few years ago, but that no case was brought forward due to a lack of evidence. Newly released police body cam video shows a Carlsbad man admitting that he killed a 2-month-old child and then hid the secret for almost a year. The body of little Kehlani Sue Moreno was found along Queen Highway in September of last year. Family members reported the child's mother, Brianna Stallings, and her boyfriend, Manuel Guillen, were involved. In his police interview, Guillen initially admits that he fell asleep on top of the child in late 2023 after taking fentanyl. But an autopsy showed the child had broken legs and ribs. Guillen initially said that was due to CPR attempts, but then he admitted he sat on the baby's face in an attempt to make her stop crying. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. District basketball tournaments continue this week. There's some games last night, and the Hagerman Bobcats boys continue to step up the ladder, winning at Jowl by a score of 51-47. The Bobcats now 18-9 on the season. They'll play at Texaco Friday at 6 o'clock. Also last night, Dexter's girls lose at in Ruidoso, 42-37. Dexter's now 17-11, and we'll see what happens when the district tournament field is announced. Meanwhile, Gateway Christian surprised at home a little bit by Elida, 44-30. Gateway Christian now 13-9 on the season. You got games tonight going on. It'll be NMMI against Ruidoso. It starts at 6 o'clock, and Gateway Christian will be playing at home against Dora. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but sunshine this afternoon. We have a quick cold front moving through. Low to mid 60s on today's high. Clear for the overnight hours, low 30s, and then we get sunshine on Friday, warming up a little bit. We're back to about 70 on the high. We're in the mid 70s on Saturday. It looks good. Sunshine, our warming trend continues on Sunday. It'll be sunny with upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
A choppy session for U.S. stocks yesterday. The S&P 500 wavered throughout the session amid its recent losing streak. President Trump discussed tariffs during what was the first cabinet meeting of his second term yesterday. The president said he still plans to issue 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, those set to start April 2nd. Trump also says he'll be slapping 25% tariffs on the European Union soon. In economic data, new home sales slowed in January. The median price of a home checked in at its highest level since 2022. Today, look for initial jobless claims for the week ending February 22nd. Also, January's durable goods orders. And we will get the second reading of the fourth quarter GDP, pending home sales for January, also due. Company-specific news. Fast food giant McDonald's says it will not be adding an egg surcharge as egg prices soar. Other chains like Waffle House and Denny's have started charging extra for dishes with eggs as bird flu has sent costs rising. And no relief in sight here on that front as the Agriculture Department predicts egg prices will soar by 41% this year alone. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Hey, it's Joe Piscopo. Take your listening room to the next level with Verdant Audio. That's VERDANT Audio, helping build the perfect listening room in your home. With experts to help put together your dream sound system, Verdant Audio experts help you select the perfect gear with equipment you will not find anywhere else. No intimidation, just passionate people who love extraordinary sound. Transform your listening experience. Visit verdantaudio.com. Explore their collection and book your consultation today.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
When the temple was completed, King Solomon dedicated the temple in prayer to God. In this prayer, his God-given wisdom shined through. He started by stating the supremacy of God, praising his love for the people and for keeping his promises. He also made requests, but they were requests centered in the will of God, not his own personal will. Solomon understood that God was too big for the temple, but he still asks for him to always keep his eyes on his people and hear their prayers. Solomon also knows that even with all the blessings that God has bestowed on his people, the people will sin. Solomon prays that when the people turn back to God, that he forgives them, and that they again enjoy the blessings that come with God's favor. He also asks that God hear the prayer of the foreigner, so that all may know God and understand his ways. What a great pattern of prayer for all of us to learn. To do these things: praise God, know he's supreme, ask him to be with us, ask for forgiveness, and ask that others know God as well.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It's 8:59. I started a storm, and it's Pillsbury's fault. They're trying to do some crescent roll, sausage roll thing, calling it taco night. People trying to argue with me. I'm sorry. I'm hopped up. No, it was funny. It was called, make it now. Don't get me wrong, I'd eat it. Looks delicious, but don't call it a taco. Don't call it a taco. That's my new. Don't call it a taco. So, all right, stay tuned. Next hour, we're gonna replay our interview we had with Freddie Sosa from Richland, talking about some of the great deals they got going on right now. That's coming up next hour. Don't go away.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. He is not backing down. President Trump says tariffs on Canada and Mexico will start next Tuesday.
After some confusion about when tariffs may be imposed, the president says they are on track for next week. He writes on social media that the U.S. will also double the 10% universal tariff charged on imports from China. The president says illicit drugs such as fentanyl are being smuggled into the United States at unacceptable levels. The auto sector especially is bracing for the potential economic fallout. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Ukraine tops the agenda as Britain's prime minister visits Washington for talks today with President Trump.
Keir Starmer's told lawmakers Kyiv must be at the table for any negotiations.
This is about the sovereignty of Ukraine and their ability to decide for themselves the future of their country.
He adds that the UK is ready to play a role in providing security guarantees to Ukraine, but reiterates the plan would require US backing.
That's why my message to President Trump is that the relationship between our two countries needs to go from strength to strength.
Britain's leader echoed earlier prime ministers in emphasising the special relationship. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Israel has released more than 600 Palestinian prisoners in an exchange for the bodies of 4 hostages who had been held by Hamas in Gaza. Now, phase 1 of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal is now complete. Attorney General Pam Bondi says today the Justice Department probably will release files on the late convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Bondi spoke with Fox News. Foul play not suspected, according to authorities, in the death of legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog. Their bodies found in their New Mexico home during a welfare check. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 351 points, NASDAQ down 117. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
.com. Pet nappers on the loose in Denver.
Thieves nabbed a pair of high-priced bulldogs from a pet store after one of them allegedly faked a seizure to distract employees while an accomplice grabbed the puppies from a pen and ran out. The theft, captured on surveillance video, happened Sunday in suburban Denver. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says 3 men walked into the store a few minutes apart and asked questions about the puppies, which sell for $4,299 each. Authorities say after one faked a seizure, another grabbed 2 puppies and ran out with a third accomplice to a getaway car. A woman who later bought one of the puppies from a street vendor returned it to the store. Keith Peters reporting.
Iowa lawmakers gearing up for a vote on a bill that would remove protection based on so-called gender identity from the state civil rights code. First introduced last week, it raced through the legislative process. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Go ahead, Sean.
No.
I
know we need to get. Let's get the formalities out of the way first.
Welcome to hour number 3.
Right.
Yeah, I started a debate right before the top of the hour there.
It's not even. Now listen. Here's the thing. It's not even that I disagree with you that what we're looking at isn't tacos.
Yeah.
Some context. Mike was scrolling as
Mike does.
Times Mike does. I do too. We all scroll just to pass the time.
Sure.
And Mike scrolled past.
I call it research because I have a morning show.
There you go. Yeah, that's we're doing R&D. So Mike scrolls by an ad for Pillsbury crescent rolls, where it talks about it's taco night, so why not serve up this taco crescent roll ring? It was like a ring.
It was a ring.
What did they call it? They called it a taco crescent ring, right?
They didn't even call it that. They said next taco night have these. They call it a crescent.
But they didn't say have these tacos.
Well, I gotta remember the ad.
I think that's
the ad made it sound like these were tacos.
I want you to find the ad again because I feel like that's where the disconnect is. Because
now I'm looking forward to it.
I know, right? There should be a way to look up. I shouldn't think about how they show us more ads, but
Pillsbury crescent rolls, Pillsbury crescent rolls, Pillsbury crescent rolls.
I'm
trying to set up.
But I think the argument is, on a certain theme night, you can have variations of a thing, and it still be in the vein of what the celebration is. Like if you're having burger night, for example, and let's say I wanted my burger without a bun, just as like a beef steak almost, essentially.
Right.
It's still a burger. It's still in the burger family. It's still burger adjacent. And I think that this if they called these tacos, then I absolutely agree with you that is BS and nonsense, and they can go.
If I remember correctly, the ad made it sound like eat taco night, eat these tacos, and it wasn't a taco.
Eat these tacos.
And I think once you opened the link, it gave you the recipe for what they called the ring.
Yeah.
But the advertisement made it sound like
these were a suitable replacement.
Yeah.
I would agree if you're having an authentic taco night that a taco flavored beef crescent ring would not
never show up again. No.
Would not be acceptable. It'll show up on mine 15 times now that we're talking about it.
Right.
I'm gonna see that thing when we're way off air.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you that it's not an acceptable taco night replacement for an authentic taco night.
Well, and then it just kind of devolved into the whole argument about sandwiches and this and that, and because Roy was so adamant about sandwiches, and I'm like, I said, look, this is the deal. Yes, these are all categories of subcategories.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Flour tortilla chips are technically bread. Does anybody call them bread? No, they call them. Is Owen saying let's go out for bread and salsa?
It's not really bread. I would say,
but technically, if we want to get in these fights that everyone's talking about tacos or sandwiches,
in that case, the derivatives are too far off because tortillas over here, bread's over here, flatbread, pita, they all have their own branches. But I would say it's like saying if I had grain and salsa.
But this is why I'm trying to tell people, look, you can say a taco is a sandwich all you want, but if you're trying to communicate and live in society and do things, don't be an idiot.
Right.
Call it a taco what it is, what everybody else calls
and I
it.
agree with you. That being said, have you ever dove into the wheel or the chart of what qualifies as a Wellington? It's a beautiful thing. It goes down the rabbit hole of corn dogs, Pop-Tarts, Hot Pockets.
Right.
There was ravioli. There's just all of pot stickers. Essentially, all of these are essentially types of Wellington.
And so that's the rabbit holes you go down. Right. And so I'm like, for your own mental health, stop doing this.
No. See, that's where you're missing the point. It is for our own mental health that we're doing this. Because while we're fighting about what constitutes a Wellington, we're not looking at what's going on out there. That's good. That's good for here.
Right, but people are ready to fight each other over a beef Wellington.
I'll fight somebody over a beef Wellington.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're all sandwiches. You know what? Steak is meat. But people don't say I'm having meat for dinner when they're having steak. They say they're having steak because it's not sexy when you say I'm having meat for dinner. But we all know it's meat.
Yeah.
Pretzel is bread. But when you have a bag of pretzels, you're not saying I'm eating a bag of bread.
It sounds odd if they're pretzeled bread. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Pretzels are technically pretzeled bread. That is the full name. So that is a delineation where I would say calling it bread is weird. And it's like, okay, you wouldn't say that. That being said, that's a closer delineation than what did you bread and tortilla? That's in my opinion.
My argument is all these idiots that are trying to say, well, technically, they're just trying to break things down because you can, technically everything because everything begats from everything and everything else.
Sure.
All I'm saying is, shut up. We have categories now. Deal with it.
Well, to start an argument with all these idiots, it's not really giving the other party a chance to kind of be like, well, hold on a second.
I am biased because I think you're all idiots because you spend your day doing this. But
it's just a distraction from the rest of the world.
It is for a minute.
Yeah.
Until I start reading comments, I'm like, this is mental health.
That's why you stay out of the comments.
Yeah, but why am I there then?
Enjoying the meme for the meme's sake, so you can show your friends and be like, "Haha, this is funny, right?" That's what it's all about.
But what I'm saying is, there are people.
Yeah. No, I will say
this isn't that.
I will say it is. There's only a few occasions where I will jump into the comments.
Yeah.
And one of them is to be like, does anybody else here know what the hell is going on right now?
Right.
Because I have no clue what this is.
Yeah.
That's one of the only times I'll ever do that.
Although my latest, and this is where I kind of, where the more devious side of me kicks in sometimes. Where, like, because the thing I see on Twitter all the time is it makes me laugh, and it's all social media, and it's a history, and it's when people don't get a joke. It is my favorite thing when someone says something so sarcastic, and then in the comments, "Come on, guy, you know it." I'm like, "Oh, there's the mark right there," and then you just read the comments and let her go.
And you are why the world goes right. You are why the internet exists, sir or ma'am.
I'm not gonna lie. I love it when someone doesn't get the joke and then they try to explain the joke to people on the line.
Actually, no, just
those are my favorite
go home,
threads.
Clifford, go home.
So, but
so that's all I'm really trying to say is I agree with what you're saying,
right?
But I also agree that it's got its place.
Yeah.
That it's that is
all I'm saying,
a necessity in the society that we occupy today.
It makes me mad to see it because it triggers the nudniks, and now I'm like, great, now I got to deal with these people.
Oh, but that's the fun. Well, I was literally thinking about. I almost typed yesterday the exact phrase. "I won't feed you, troll."
I want to watch it, but man, and then sometimes I'm like,
oh,
God, I wish society was smarter.
And here's the difference between your Twitters and your Reddits.
Yeah.
Because Reddit will call you out for lurking.
Yeah.
They'll be like, user 456775544, you haven't checked in yet.
I'd be like, so what about it?
I'm just on r/feed doing a little gawking, all right?
So this is a free world. I'm going to sit here and stalk all I want. Blow me.
So, yeah. But I agree with you. This all started from Pillsbury and a Crescent taco night thing. But I agree with you that itself isn't a taco, but that it is in the family thereof.
I agree. But
and that's really
I'm just tired of the argument. I'm tired of the, like, I'm just tired of the taco. Like, it's just a taco, man.
I'm in love with the taco.
It's just a taco. And everyone's like, well, I do that. Okay, fine. You want to make a taco-like thing that tastes like a taco? Fine, but it's not a taco.
It's not it's not a taco.
It's a taco roll. It's a taco soup. It's a taco salad. It's not a taco.
That being said, I have a hard time when people call what is essentially a burrito a taco. See, this is a whole argument for another show.
Yeah.
But like I had yesterday a beef fajita taco, but it was a beef fajita burrito.
Yeah.
Just with, I guess, maybe less.
I think if the burrito's tiny, they don't want to call it a burrito. So they call it a taco.
But it was substantial.
But then I argue, well, where does it go into taquito category?
Right. See now we're going down a whole different rabito hole.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's rabitito. I don't know.
I feel like
Roy.
I feel like at the end of the day, all of that is just something like I feel like that started out as like one mom made tacos one way, and some said that's not a taco. Oh, it's not a taco. It's taquito. I feel like that's how it started.
I do like the idea of the Mike Winters of the first hour of this show sitting on the bench watching the world burned while feeding the birds.
Yes.
Stands up and fist fights a man because he called a crescent roll a taco.
I don't got a fist fight.
These are where the lines are drawn, and I love it. That's fantastic.
I'm a soup sandwich. I tell people
You keep doing you. That's the best part.
I'm me.
That's what makes this whole thing work, man.
A little crazy, a little too rational, a little too everything else. But Anyway.
You're a little bit country. I'm a little bit irrational, you know?
That's all right. I've seen Sean have his opinion, too. He goes off on his little tangents.
Yeah. I pick my hills. I definitely choose my hills.
All right. We got to get the hour going.
Yep.
So we're going to play our interview we had with Freddie from Richland, talking about some of the deals they got going on, both at the Dodge and the GM store right now. And whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But Foist, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but sunshine this afternoon. We have a quick cold front moving through. Low to mid-60s on today's high. Clear for the overnight hours, low 30s, and then we get sunshine on Friday, warming up a little bit. We're back to about 70 on the high. We're in the mid-70s on Saturday. It looks good. Sunshine, our warming trend continues on Sunday. It'll be sunny with upper 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, where's my weather? There it is. Currently, that's not fresh. Let me refresh that. Currently, 53 here in Roswell. Humidity's at 35% with northeast winds at 6 miles per hour. For today, mostly sunny and 63. North winds 5 to 10. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 32. Back into the low 70s tomorrow. Sunny and 72. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10. Was that wind or was that a car? It sounded very loud. I missed that. Friday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 35. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we're going to be in the mid-70s, sunny and 74. A little breezy. North winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. They'll shift to the south for the afternoon. Sunday, we're looking at a high of 77 and warm but breezy. And then Monday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high near 80, 79. So, and then we drop in the mid-60s and windy on Tuesday. So, spring winds look like as March is rolling in, the winds are coming with it, sounds like. Or at least starting to, at least that's what the weather's kind of indicating. All right, 9:19, we're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then we'll play our interview with Freddie on the other side. Don't go away.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
When the temple was completed, King Solomon dedicated the temple in prayer to God. In this prayer, his God-given wisdom shined through. He started by stating the supremacy of God, praising his love for the people and for keeping his promises. He also made requests, but they were requests centered in the will of God, not his own personal will. Solomon understood that God was too big for the temple, but he still asks for him to always keep his eyes on his people and hear their prayers. Solomon also knows that even with all the blessings that God has bestowed on his people, the people will sin. Solomon prays that when the people turn back to God, that he forgives them, and that they again enjoy the blessings that come with God's favor. He also asks that God hear the prayer of the foreigner, so that all may know God and understand his ways. What a great pattern of prayer for all of us to learn. To do these things: praise God, know he's supreme, ask him to be with us, ask for forgiveness, and ask that others know God as well.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeast New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answers to your problems, with brands you know, including Preford, Pearson, Purina, Hypro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, family owned for 50 years.
Space, the final frontier.
Hi, Captain. You can choose your space at Main Trailer Sales.
Fascinating. Don't cling on to that old camper. The logical choice. New Durangos, Montanas, Cougars, and Passports from Main Trailer Sales. They allow space and comfort. Boldly explore like never before.
Beam on board to that perfect camper.
Don't go camping without us. Live long and explore.
Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without us.
Great news, Roswell. Your friends at Roswell Ford have the best relationship advice ever. Break up and do it right now.
Really?
Yes. less. Break up with your old beater and upgrade for less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles with up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand financed. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:28, and joining us in studio this morning from Richland Motors, we have Freddie Sosa back with us. How you doing, Freddie?
Great.
It's been a minute since we've had you on the radio.
I know. I missed it.
I know. How's life in the moto world this morning?
Honestly, there's really not much to complain about.
Yeah.
I mean, things are going good. 2025 has been a good start of the year. I mean, lots of positive things happening. So, I mean, it's an exciting time.
Well, it's kind of, like literally last time we talked to you, we were still talking about COVID crap and all that stuff. And it's a whole different world now. I mean, I don't know if we're back to pre-COVID numbers, but as far as like supply, demand, incentives, back to seeing things like 0% interest in cars, that's a thing again now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of back to normal.
Well, and it's getting there. I think what we're running into now is kind of the new normal. I mean, I don't think it'll ever go back to what it was pre-COVID. But I mean, this is still a great time in the car business.
Sure.
I mean, everything's just there's plenty of cars now out.
Sure. Can I ask a philosophical here? And I know we're going to talk, and by the way, this month is truck month here at Richland. So if you're looking for GM store, Dodge store, either way, you're going to find deals there. But I am curious to, in the car industry, because the way the world's going electric now, and now in governments are pushing the electric agenda. Car dealers, you look at Ford and see what they're doing with their kind of stuff. How is that impacting you guys at Richland as far as electric sales versus, because we're not in a place where people are demanding electric cars because they're not beneficial here yet. They're just not, for what we kind of do. So, I mean, how does that impact what you guys do at Richland? Is it, because, you got to put your foot in the future because at some point you're going to have to, the writing's on the wall. I mean, how do you guys, juggle that where it's like, no, people still want trucks with gas engines and everything else, but at some point the world is going to change here.
Well, I mean, I guess first and foremost, we're salesmen, so we're going to sell anything that's available for us to be able to sell.
Sure, exactly. So, right, whether it runs on bananas or, or whatever.
And so EVs are an exciting product.
Sure.
Now, in the area that we live in, I'm not sure it's ever going to blow up like a big metro area.
Sure.
But there's a butt for every seat, and that's kind of and so it's exciting. So
sure.
I had my truck was in the shop a couple weeks ago for a couple days, and I drove the Hummer EV around.
Okay. Gave it a dance for the first time?
Yeah, around for a couple days.
Did you do the wheel thing and all
that?
Yeah,
I did the crab walk at the launch, and the main reason is because, I've been very adamant in saying, like, in the type of area we live in, that I don't think EVs will ever take off.
Sure.
Then I drive one, and then my opinion kind of changes.
Right.
And so it's a very exciting product, and there's a place for it, depending on your driving habits.
Sure.
And so on the Hummer EV, for an example, that had a 330 mile range. So for the whole time I was in it, I don't necessarily have to charge it.
Sure.
Right. In it for about 4 days, able to drive it around and not have to recharge it.
Sure.
There's ways to finance very inexpensively the home rapid charger, which so we've had customers who have come in and bought EVs from us, and that's there's a term called range anxiety. And so once we talk to them about how you can install this in your house and be able to charge it a little bit different. Those customers that were on the fence are coming back being fairly excited about
Gotcha.
it. And so like I said, there's a place. We sold the very first GMC Denali truck that came on our lot within 2 days of it getting there.
And I think for people that want to go that world, like the world's going in your direction. I mean, I've seen the legislative stuff. I've seen on the news. In the state of New Mexico alone, there's going to be a major push to be putting these charging stations all over the state here. So the technology is going to get better. So people that are wanting to get into this, I mean, you're getting in on kind of the ground floor right now,
and that's exactly it.
It's going to be the way of the world. I don't care what anybody says or whatever. You know, this is going to be the future. 20 years from now, I'm going to imagine there's going to be more electric cars on the road than non-electric cars.
I mean,
take a guess.
That could very well be the case.
The technology does have to get a little better.
Yeah, the technology and the technology is amazing now.
Sure.
It's just the not having traveling is where you have the issue.
Just my gee whiz curious thing. I think the solution for that is going to be not putting more charging stations, but do like we do with our phones. Invent an invention that you could put in your backpack that charges your phone with you. Basically something that it looks maybe the size of a car battery you can keep in your trunk, and then in essence plug it in and get a quick charge on your car and then go on.
And give you another, like just like your spare tire. Yeah, give you another 30 or 40 miles.
I feel like that's where technology is going to lead us to, where it's not necessarily there's not enough of those, but you're going to have where you could put a couple of these in your car and get a quick and to get you to the next thing or something like that.
I mean, and after driving them, in my opinion, very drastically changed it. I mean, I think personally I'll still drive a combustion engine vehicle. I travel quite a bit. But I mean, if I was, let's say, living in Hagerman, driving to Roswell every day for work, an EV makes all the sense in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially if you're just like say maybe you work at Fletsy or something, you live here and you're doing that. Yeah, you get yourself a nice EV that you could literally plug in, and when you get home and I plug in, and you'll never run out of juice. I think the where it needs to catch up is, and this is where places like here are going to need it, is in the torque and hauling side. Whereas we've got great numbers for EVs on that kind of stuff, but when it comes to hauling stuff, those numbers go down drastically now. I know they're getting better,
like that GMC. EV truck still pulls every bit as much as a half ton. You're never going to get one of them to pull like a 3/4 ton truck, but that's not necessarily what it's designed for. You got to think a half ton truck wasn't designed originally for everyday use. It was designed for a workhorse.
They start putting nice features in it and everything. Then everybody started wanting to make it their daily driver.
Yeah, we as a society turned that half ton truck into a everyday driver.
Well, kids, if you bought a pickup truck when Freddie and I were kids, usually you'd be lucky if there was even like a leather or pleather coating. Like a lot of times there was bare metal, the doors, you know what I mean? There was none. And certainly no, leather, you had a bucket seat in there, there was they had a radio, it had maybe an AC or whatever, but there wasn't all the bells and whistles. It was bare bones, and it didn't handle like a car either. The suspension, like they've altered suspensions on trucks and things nowadays to make them feel more like car rides.
Yes.
Back 30, 40 years ago when Freddie and I were running around annoying our parents, that was not the case.
Well, if you want to give kids a little bit of anxiety now, put them in a vehicle that doesn't have power windows. They have no idea what that little knob.
Hey, let me show you my Jeep I got for rental. I literally didn't want it on.
I mean, how do I roll down this window?
Hey, kids, check this out.
How do I get my food from the drive-thru? There's going to be a little bit of panic there, but you're 100% right. Like my truck now is probably the best driving vehicle I've ever had. Like the suspension, I mean, it's like driving a Cadillac.
Yeah. You're there in the, I don't know, I'm going to say when the station wagon kind of faded out into the popularity and SUVs started, and that's right around the time when pickups became more of a daily driver for folks and everything else too, where people were seeing a pickup as their main. Now, granted, I grew up in DC area. So I mean, I grew up in Maryland. There was farming and things, but it's not.
It's
rural.
not like what you
it's
see
not
here.
rural here. Yeah.
You can't
I lived
roll
in the city.
You can't roll up to Walmart and not see more trucks than
Yeah.
you do car. And I mean, think about it. A car, a sedan, is phasing out of the auto industry completely now.
Well,
I mean,
that's why when I mentioned Ford earlier, you know that's not your guys' brand, but their whole move is they're I think they're selling trucks. The only cars they're really selling is like a Mustang or something that's iconic.
Yeah.
And that's the way they're going because that's where demand is, and they're going heavy with EV too. I'm like, it feels like at some point the way the Ford's going, they're like, we don't want you to buy gas cars. We're just wanting you to buy electric.
Well, and that's I think that's kind of changing a little bit the force to be able to forcing the EV upon us. I mean, I think when you take away a person's ability of choice, that we have a little bit of issue with that.
That's kind of thing. It's like, look, let me find it on my own.
Yes.
Don't take my thing away and make me do it. And granted, I know humans.
Yeah.
And you literally have to push us off the cliff to do things sometimes. But you're right. We don't take kindly to saying, wait a minute.
And what I do right now is the best thing I did was drive that Hummer for a couple days. I took it to church and let people see it, and then I encourage people when they ask questions, do me a favor, come in and drive it.
I would say that's your best move. Is if you're really thinking, or even if you're really against it, come do it for yourself. Say, all right, go down to Richland and say, hey, can I try one of these EV vehicles? I want to see what it's all about. I want to know, what am I getting into, or is it as crappy as I think, or is it way better than I think, or is it? Yeah, you're right. You gotta kick the tires sometimes.
I think it's I mean, us as a society in general. I mean, sure. I'm just as guilty of this as anybody is making my opinion of something before I have ever experienced it.
Well,
and so I encourage people to at least experience it before you form your opinion.
And part of what will make the change too is guys like you and I will get older and die off. Whereas, and this is just human nature, and we just happen to be in this time. Mm-hmm. The older you get, the less agreeable to change you are.
Yes.
You find your ways in life, and you find your niches, you find your grooves, you find how to navigate life, and you're kind of like, don't mess with my deal, man.
I feel like I'm better the older I get with change. I mean,
but that's our mindset. It's not true.
Yeah,
but that's how we think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm as I'm getting older, I'm more and more because I'm, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Things you feel about as a grown man today, opinions about things, not just cars, just life in general, is not the same when you were 20.
No, I mean, as we experience life, our opinion changes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, how I feel about things and just my attitude on things, and it's the youth thing, that's always part of it. You're young and dumb, you're out standing on the cliff, woo! By the time you're in your 40s, you're like, that was stupid. Stop doing that, but that's really is life. But I think that's part of going to change the EV mindset too, is as people grow up into it, they're going to be more, they're going to embrace it more. They're going to, as they don't know what they had before, and how it worked. And
the other thing about them is the EV is a little bit more expensive than a combustion engine car.
Yeah.
But this is also bringing in leases back into the auto industry when leases haven't been great for years. And so the best way, and that's what makes buying these EVs kind of exciting now,
right?
Is lease them. There's no commitment to it besides
you're done in 2 years
the
or whenever
couple of years that you decide to do it, and just see if it's something that works for you.
I mean, usually with leases, you get free maintenance and free everything during that time.
Your time of purchase is.
Although an EV doesn't come in for oil changes, I guess, but what I mean? I was thinking, come in for. Never mind.
Watch it. But yeah, that's what I encourage people is don't have a commitment. Lease them. Let's what the auto industry's missing has been for a few years is very aggressive leases, and right now with these EVs coming out, there's super aggressive leases, and take advantage of the fact that you don't have to make the commitment to purchase.
Absolutely.
Let's spend 2 years deciding if this is something
and then maybe after the 2 years you say, I really like this, I want to make the full investment, or you said, no, that wasn't for me, I'm going back to a gas engine. But
exactly.
That's kind of your test drive a little bit. Take a 2-year test drive on one and see it for yourself. See how it. And I will also argue this: the technology is only getting to get better from here. what you're seeing, I would imagine 10, 15 years down the road, they're probably going to be very comparable in performance and everything else as the technology gets better and as innovation changes here a little bit.
It's one of the fastest. Like every EV you get into is like super fast.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. They when you get electric and those things, you've seen those videos and Road and Track doing all these EV tests on all
one
the
of the
various
things.
cars.
We got our first EV charger at the Dodge store, 2-door charger, and it's John Lujan. He's one of our senior salesmen over, bringing it over to Chevy store. I've been wanting to see it, and it's funny because when you start an EV, you don't really know it's on, right? But
you don't get you don't get that.
You have speakers underneath the charger that does that sound.
Nice, to simulate it.
To simulate it. And so as you're accelerating, you hear that in the car. You hear it. So you feel like you're driving a
regular
combustion engine vehicle, but it's an EV because the way when you're sitting outside, when you're outside the car and people around you, you're still going to hear that rumble of a charger.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Because I think that's important because especially in charger, in the muscle cars.
Yeah, that's the
part
reason
of the thing.
You kind of buy it, right?
Yeah,
So,
you can't miss that. So it's glad they're able to replicate that, and so you get all the bells and whistles, the torque, the all that, but it's electric.
Well,
That's
to me,
pretty
it's
cool.
baby steps. I mean, you're all the stuff you love, but
so it's like there's a movie with Kevin James and Vince Vaughn. And the movie's I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically it's love. It's basically cheating on thing. But those two are. But the whole premise of the movies is a love story and someone cheating on everybody.
I know exactly which movie you're talking about. Yeah.
But the sidebar of the movie was that Kevin James and Vince Vaughn were in a startup company where they were basically almost exactly what you were saying. And I think it was a charger in the movie too, where they were trying to incorporate so it sounds like a charger and doing all that, but it's electric. So it's like, ooh, that really exists now. Because it was in a movie about, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah, when that movie came out. And but now that technology exists and it's in, come on down to the GM store and check it out, or the Dodge store, check it out.
Yeah, both stores have some really exciting stuff on the EV side. Some of the gas engines and diesel engines, some of that stuff's crazy about how nice they are now, and the fuel economy you can also get out of a eco diesel truck is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's lots of exciting things happening, not only in the Chrysler Dodge world and the GM world, but kind of just in the auto industry in a whole. So,
and this is the part where I do love what you do guys at Richland, and this is why I asked you because you guys always keep the foot in every world. I was talking about Ford, they're kind of pushing everybody this way, and you guys are just like, what do you need? What do you want? We'll rustle it up, kind of deal.
Yeah, there's a time and place for every. I mean, you're kind of setting me up for what one of the things I wanted to talk about is we've always strived at Richland to kind of make the car buying experience as easy as possible, right? And so we have this new tool where it puts you as the customer in the driver's seat. So you can go to our website. On each car, you'll see a thing called the Easy button. Click it. You can find your trade value, estimated trade value right there. You can figure out your payments right there. You can fill out you pull a soft inquiry that doesn't affect your credit right there.
So you could literally walk into the dealership, do this before you walk in the dealership, know everything that you're going to tell them before you walk into the building.
Yeah, so you're walking, it's saved in our system. Yeah. Every one of our salesmen now have the ability to be able to do that without walking to a manager and figuring out.
Nice.
He wants to know what
which speeds up the process,
and it does. Yeah. And so we've it's something we've been striving for years.
Sure.
It's trying to find a way to make the customer experience
it's
as seamless as possible.
And it makes sense because it's kind of like when you go buy a home. When you buy a home, don't run out with a real estate agent. You go see a lending guy and see what you qualify for and everything else. This is kind of that same way. Now before you kick the tires, you're like, okay, I can afford a car in this price range.
Yeah, so you're walking.
So now I know what to
you
look
can
for.
walk in there, and the cool thing about it is by the time you decide, we already know, right? We see what you're doing as you're playing with that tool on our website, and then someone's probably going to call you or shoot you a text or an email saying, is this something you're interested in coming down and look at? And what we're noticing right now, because this is something we started with and been training ourselves how to use since the beginning of the year, but the amount of people who are trying it now, we wanted to get good tool before we started talking about it. So hence why I'm here. Let's talk about it a little bit because it's exciting that now that's always been the customer's biggest. I don't want to sit in the dealership and do the whole rigmarole of figuring out what it's going to be. I want to know what I can afford before I come in. So that you have an idea the second you walk in there.
And now the cool part is you can spend that time learning about your new car, because that's the thing. Trust me, and this is where, like, online and all that's so great and convenient, but at the end of the day, I feel like you need to end with the handshake and the, you know what I mean? And the reason why is, and this is where is the sales folks, they especially new cars, man, these things got features and things you probably wouldn't even fathom at some point. And you want to learn how to do all these cool things. And that's what I love is when you go to some of these other things, okay, the car shows up, now what? You know, I got to figure it out, read the owner's manual, do all this stuff. They literally will sit down, let me go over the features. Oh, let me show you how to set up your phone so it pairs with your car and everything. They do all that stuff for you. So you literally, when you drive out of there, you can start playing the toys and know how to do all the bells and whistles. Ooh, look at my seat, it's vibrating. Ooh, or whatever it does, you know. That's the part I always say, that's why you need to come down to the dealership and get, because that's the part that really cements your love for the vehicle at the end. And there's no greater feeling, and that's the happiest moment for you guys.
Yeah,
you love calling someone up, say your car is here, come get it.
Well, and that's that. Speaking of COVID earlier, I mean, that's one of the things that COVID brought back is people weren't ordering cars pre-COVID, and so now that's back in their mind. So, like, we have 5 to 10 pre-ordered vehicles every month, because now the customers, like, for every part of the car buying experience, now we have a person that does that job.
Sure.
We have Brandon Johnson, who orders all of our vehicles and does all of our used cars and makes sure we have stuff to be able to sell. When you talk about deliveries and learning the car, we have one person who does that for every vehicle. They're showing you exactly how to use it. She's
love that.
A wizard on figuring stuff out. When you have questions, she can be able to do it. All of the salesmen can do it too, but now there's essentially a person for
that's
each.
All they do all day is help people with these kinds of things, and I love that, and that's great. And but this is what I mean with that car experience and so forth. And that's where I say, if you are looking for a vehicle, you know, talk to the folks at Richland here, because you can go as high tech on this as you want or as low tech on this as you want, and they'll come get you. They'll come. I mean, and service is and you know, and that's the other thing. I haven't mentioned it yet, but because this is always, it's a given now. Whenever you buy a vehicle through Richland, you're part of the brand champion program, which comes with all kind of benefits for you know, life after you drive that vehicle off the lot and everything else. And that's, you know, that's something, you know, when we talk about, and this, I've said it, I'll say it one more time, because I haven't said it this time, but you know, when COVID went down and price gouge and all that stuff was going on, Richland was stayed true. There was a reason why people were coming from all over the Southwest to purchase vehicles from Richland. I mean, supply and demand was tricky, but you could get those same vehicles at other places, but they had markups crazy high, and Richland wasn't doing that. They're saying, no, we're trying to get stuff. And
we've always done really well with just within our community, but what's been crazy is since COVID and changing our pricing strategy just to be aggressive. Where our customers are coming from. I mean, now all of a sudden, every month we're doing stuff for people in Dallas, Denver, just all these surrounding states that have no problem with coming down, or we ship the car to them. I mean, it's become the new normal.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of, I'm just in the time we probably, and that's kind of my point is, look, at the end of the day, you can buy a Ram pickup or a Chevy pickup or whatever in lots of places.
Yeah,
it's very easy to do. The difference is what happens after. What's the next thing? When something goes wrong with the vehicle, what happens and things. And that's where I'm telling you, Richland always steps up. Always has been that.
It'll always be the difference.
And that's so when the idea is when you're done with that Chevy pickup or that Ram or that Jeep or whatever it is you have, you're going to make your next vehicle a Ram, a Jeep, or a Chevy. Or maybe you could, all right, I had a Chevy this time. I'm going to go check out one of these Dodge Rams this time. You know what I mean? But you're going to want to stay with the family because you understand that every time you walk in there, they're going to straight shoot you. They're going to give you a good deal. They're going to make the most advantageous for you, too. They understand that we're not just trying to sell you something to get you. It's an experience, and it's a thing, and it's about the family, that big time service with a small time feel, and that's, I think, Richland's always kind of been their
we
jam.
train and encourage our guys to not be our sales staff to not be car salesmen. We want them to be car guys.
Sure.
I want when you have a question about tires or your
Sure.
car's not working or you need a tow, that we're your first phone call.
Sure.
And so the difference always is, and I say this to my customers, I was like, yes, you can go buy a vehicle in Dallas. The difference is you'll see me at church, you'll see me at the grocery store.
Right.
And when you say I'm having this issue, guess who's going to be the first person to jump up and help you?
Exactly. Or and I would even throw this out further a little bit too, is employment and stuff. You look at folks that work for Richland, it doesn't matter which GM Dodge store and things. You see they're happier. They're there. I mean, they're people that have been there a long time, and I'm just speaking that to the culture. That's kind of the culture of the company. And anybody, even if you've never been in the industry, selling cars is a cutthroat business, and there's a reason you'll see people jump from dealership to dealer. It can be a rough life for folks that, at certain places. But you guys have made it kind of a home for your people, make them want to stay there and grow there and keep, progressing and doing their thing. And that's all I'm saying is that's all kind of an indicator. If you want to see how a company operates and see how their employees are, if they're happy, if they're doing things, chances are that's a good flag saying, you know what, they probably treat their customers the same way. And that's kind of my point is look at the proof of everything that Richland does. And at the end of the day, it's proof that customers are first. Yes, they're in the business to make money just like everybody else that's in business to make money. But you know what? They're not going to sell their soul for it. They're going to make sure you're happy with your experience at Richland. And even if they take a hit every once in a while to do that. That's what Richland's about.
Yeah.
So I invite you to come. Like I said, it is truck month right now. So if you're looking to upgrade the truck or get a new truck or get your first truck, come on down. I'm sure there's incentives at either the GM store or the Dodge store right now.
We have some of the most aggressive stuff we've had in years at our Chrysler Dodge store. So get on our website and check it out. I mean, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Some of the biggest inventory we've had in years.
Are some of those Gladiators under truck month?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
They're looking at them Gladiators over the Dodge store.
I'm just saying, Mike, if you're in the market for a Gladiator, it's your time right now.
The time is now.
Yeah.
The time is nigh.
It's crazy the type of money that's off of those right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, as a Jeep guy, and will be a Jeep guy till they pull me from this earth. I just love Jeeps. If y'all want, but that's me. And don't be wrong, I've driven Ram pickups, love my Ram. I've had Chevys, love them. But I've just, ever since I was a kid, man, I was 16, the Wrangler, I was like, that's my jam. And ever since. And then I became an adult with hair on me, and I said, I can afford one of these now. I'm going to buy one.
Now I can get what I want.
So that's me. And so I'm almost, you know what? I'm thinking, like now I've been like, is it time? And I'm like, no, but I'm close. I might be seeing you soon. We'll see.
Let me know.
It's been about 5 years now. It's 2018. Shoot,
It's been 6 years.
Oh my goodness! I've been that long. Holy
yeah.
Crap. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think I need to schedule a remote so you buy another one. That's how that happened last time.
I'm vulnerable. Good deal. But come on down. Like I said, either the GM. And by the way, if you need service on your vehicle, either service department, they've got the technicians. They've got the experience. They can handle all makes and models. They've got you covered in there. Now, obviously, if you got a Dodge, you might want to lean it over to the Dodge store. They see a few more of those than Chevys, and vice versa. But definitely. But I mean, you can bring all makes and models.
Yeah.
If you got your old Toyota or something there needs some work, they got the guys that can make it magic again here. And if you're saying it's time to maybe get rid of that Toyota and maybe upgrade, they can do that too.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to cover, Freddie, that we just spaced on?
That new easy button thing on my website was one of the.
Definitely check that out.
One of the biggest things. I think that's kind of where our business is going.
Sure.
Just to make it as simple as possible. So
very good.
I encourage you to get on the website, play with the tool, see what.
Give out the two web addresses for the Dodge and the GM stores.
rlchevrolet.com and richlandmotors.com.
Very good. And if you can't remember any of that, just Google Richland.
Yeah.
And you could probably put, if you're looking for the GM stuff, just Richland GM, or if you're wanting Dodge or Chevy or Chrysler, the Dodge, and it'll pop right up. And of course, they're all. I would highly recommend. They each have their own Facebook pages as well too. And I would like and follow those, not only to stay abreast of incentives and sales and things, but sometimes the salespeople get a little goofy and put some things up there from time to time that might tickle an ivory or two.
Yeah.
They have fun. They have fun recreating things in both stores.
And we're working on doing some cool stuff this year with that.
They got a little social media fun on there that I invite you to check out from time to time too. So, but definitely check it if you're. And that's the great thing. If you've been thinking about the car, but you didn't want to talk to a live person and everything, go to the website, click the button, and let's run the numbers. And now you know. And it's like, you know what? Now might be the time, or might want to hold off a little bit, or whatever it is. But you can make that determination from the comfort of your home there through the website. So, good deal. Well, thank you, Freddie.
No problem. Glad to be back.
I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out here, and we'll see you. I think is it next week? I know we got you coming back in soon. I can't remember what time it is.
It will be I believe the second week of next month.
Oh, is it that far away? I was thinking, I don't know. I've slept since then.
Hey man, I'll come anytime.
Well, bring a sandwich. No, you get those. And that's the other thing too. If you come around lunchtime, you might just get fed. Just saying. They're always cooking over there. Or bringing in food. One of the other.
Yeah, we know how to have a good time.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Freddie. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time here. It is 7:58. Let's take a quick break before news here. Don't go away.
broken legs and ribs. Guillen initially said that was due to CPR attempts, but then he admitted he sat on the baby's face in an attempt to make her stop crying. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The American people, in overwhelming numbers, support what the president is doing. They support this cut. 80% support deporting criminal illegal immigrants. 76% support a full-scale effort to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. 76% support closing the border. 70% support keeping men out of women's sports and declaring there are only two genders. Now, to these congressmen and women, I will tell you 60+% cutting government spending and ending the ban on offshore drilling. If you just look at these numbers, it is overwhelmingly a 70-30, 80-20 issue.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
The election is officially over, but is your money still at risk? We still have a staggering $35 trillion in debt. Interest on this debt now costs more than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. On top of that, we're still feeling the consequences of the brutal inflation we saw under Biden and the global chaos ripping across the globe. That's why thousands of concerned Americans are turning to precious metals to help hedge against these threats. And they're reaching out to the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, to make it happen. Goldco has over 6,000 five-star reviews and has helped people just like you purchase over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. Right now, they're offering a free gold and silver kit to help you diversify your savings. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD to get your copy free of charge. Plus, you could receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD. That's HannityGold.com.
It's time for the Chaffetz County Sports Report. District basketball tournaments continue this week. There's some games last night, and the Hagerman Bobcats boys continue to step up the ladder, winning at Jowl by a score of 51-47. The Bobcats now 18-9 on the season. They'll play at Texaco Friday at 6 o'clock. Also last night, Dexter's girls lose at in Ruidoso, 42-37. Dexter's now 17-11, and we'll see what happens when the district tournament field is announced. Meanwhile, Gateway Christian surprised at home a little bit by Elida, 44-30. Gateway Christian now 13-9 on the season. You got games tonight going on. It'll be NMMI against Ruidoso, and it starts at 6 o'clock. And Gateway Christian will be playing at home against Dora. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. When it comes to stock markets worldwide, this year has clearly not been America first. Wall Street has risen in 2025 and isn't far from its all-time high. However, it's climbed less than equities markets in Mexico City, Paris, and Hong Kong. The number of Americans applying for unemployment last week jumped to 242,000. That's a three-month high. The Commerce Department reports the U.S. economy grew at a solid 2.3% annual rate for the final 3 months of last year. NVIDIA, the chip company that's become the poster child of the artificial intelligence rush, ticked up a modest 0.8% after hours. eBay suffered a 7.8% decline after the online auction site offered a tepid sales forecast for 2025. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
From townhall.com, I'm Jason Walker. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer arriving at the White House.
President about his push to end Russia's war in Ukraine. The British Prime Minister, along with the French President and others, are concerned that the U.S. might concede too much to Russia in negotiations. Starmer also announced plans this week for the UK to bolster defense spending, something that should please Donald Trump. Greg Clugston, the White House.
And tomorrow, Mr. Trump will be hosting Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. President Trump says he plans to impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico starting next Tuesday, in addition to doubling the 10% universal tariff charged on imports from China. Also at townhall.com, the president getting a temporary reprieve from the United States Supreme Court over a lower court order to repay some $2 billion to U.S. aid. Ben Thomas has more.
Chief Justice John Roberts saying the court needs a chance to weigh in more fully. The lower court ruling came after nonprofit groups and businesses filed a lawsuit challenging the administration's aid freeze. That followed one of President Trump's executive orders targeting what he called wasteful programs. The Trump administration says it's eliminating more than 90% of USAID's foreign aid contracts and $60 billion in overall U.S. assistance around the world. Ben Thomas, Washington.
FBI accuses the North Korean-backed hackers in a massive crypto heist from a firm in Dubai. North Korea has reportedly stolen an estimated $1.2 billion in cryptocurrency and other virtual assets in the last 5 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, everybody. Charlie Kirk here. My schedule is about as crazy as it gets. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health. I chose my PhD weight loss and nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I quickly lost over 40 pounds